Okay. Sound check, sound check. I am the prettiest unicorn that ever pranced in the pink dress. Okay. Turn that down quite a bit. Blooming microphone. That should be good. Ah, right. Yeah, I'll accept that. Okay, right. I'll leave that there. That should be good. Sorted. Okay. Let's do a thing. Hello there, everyone. This is AM3, and welcome to Voidship, the long journey. Hello there, Epic. Doing all right, thank you. Just a bit crazy. Also, chat doesn't seem to be working. So hang on. Just refresh that. YouTube live chat is currently unavailable. Please make sure that one of the following ports is open on your system. Oh, come on. Why is everything breaking? Okay. Epic00 says hello, and how are you today? It's just that apparently... I thought I could just drop straight into this, but apparently something's broken again. A bit crazy? Yeah, this is me we're talking about. No, go away, microphone. No, turn that off. A bit crazy. I don't understand why chat is now downright broken. Live streaming is set to YouTube, video sharing set to. Okay. Oh, I thought I'd be able to just drop in and then start doing just doing a thing. Instead, what is going wrong this time? Please make sure the following ports are open on your system. What? That wasn't a problem before. Why is it a problem now? Seriously, this... Oh. I do apologise. Live streaming, complaining about ports. I'm looking in my video settings right now. I can't find the thing. At least I actually know what a possible fix for my headsets. I just can't do it yet. Also, I get the feeling music might be a little bit loud as well. Come on, Chrome, I want you to find a thing. Pretty please. I need to get into my darn router in the middle of a live stream. I am truly a professional. Wait, wasn't this a number? Oh well. Hopefully this will take less than a year to fix, I suppose. I mean, it's taken me years to figure out how to sort out my headset, which, by the way, is apparently the problem with this HyperX headset is the integrated USB sound card, which, by being there, overrides and blocks microphone volume settings by the computer itself. So yeah, I can fix that by basically taking out that and then connecting the headset jack directly. It means I lose a couple of quote-unquote features which I have no idea about. Oh, is it that number? Okay. But the problem is I need a female lead extension to plug my headset into the back of the computer. 168 1254. Yes, I just don't have anything compatible for it. Oh, they've changed the interface as well. Lovely. Okay. Broadband's connected. What I need is advanced settings. I think I remember how to do this. It's just a new UI is completely throwing me off. Firewall. Here we go. Something home. No. The admin password is incorrect. Oh dear. Oh dear. Wait. Is this a new? This is not what I want to be doing. Dang it all. Okay, apparently a quick fix is not in the future once again. So I'm going to turn off the chat. Oh. Damn it. Apparently, we have chat. It just took its own sweet time. Right. Anyway. Now that's actually working. Somehow. Anyway, the question. I know you're no longer into MechWarrior Online, but does MechWarrior 5 look interesting to you? Yes, actually, it does. I'm still a little bit into MechWarrior Online. I've just been not really doing much with it. Mech 5 does look interesting. I mean, it's updated big stompy robot game. While I try to figure out how to link this stream to the Discord. Because I'm still an idiot and I don't know how to do this. I'm especially curious about how they're going to go with co-op campaign. Since that's one of the things that they were talking about. So that might be a fun thing to have, like it's a 4-player co-op, I believe it is. At least that's the last I heard about it. With 4 people, 4 different mechs, no doubt getting in each other's way or shooting each other in the back. That kind of thing. Is this the link I want? I think it is. Click. So yeah, that could be a fun time, I think. If I had 3 friends to play it with, that's the big question. And now I have massive echo going on. Okay, right, got it. Sound check complete after 10 minutes. YouTube chat behaving, right now at least. On the bright side, I've spent less time on this than I did when I tried streaming last week. So I just hope the sound balance is still good. The music was, I think, a little bit loud. Let's turn it down slightly just to be sure. There we go. Okay, let's actually begin the game with a new story. Choosing will overwrite your previous one. Yeah. Really a single player game with its own story modes. You mean MechWarrior 5? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been kind of curious about the videos that they've had. Multiplayer is just a plus, but it can be a big plus. So, but it is honestly the thing I'm more curious about. Though single player, I'd quite happily just stomp around in it if I manage to get the game for myself. Anyway, Voidship. We start off naming our ship. Let me know if there's any kind of sound balance issue going on, because I don't trust it at all. Anyway, we start off with naming our ship. We can randomize a whole bunch of stuff, and this is the name of our ship for getting started in the game. I'm going to do what I did with Genesis Alpha 1. Because I come up with a nice ship name which describes me very well, I think. And as you can see, I can type it properly because I don't know why that A is there. Right. Why are you doing that? Okay, there's something in the way it was typing. Right. The ship is called Ion's Folly. So, just because reasons. Because, you know, it's it does kind of describe my habit of like causing all sorts of trouble. And or restarting games and things like that. Just pop the chat out so I can keep a better eye on it on my laptop. And then we will begin in save slot 1. It's only easy and normal difficulty. I assume hard will appear if we get far enough. But basically this is a generational ship survival game with roguelike aspects. As in, if you die you gotta do some restarting. That kind. You made that name from Skylines, did you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did. Well, so much for me being original. I still like the name and I accept it. But yeah, now that you mention it, I recall you gave me that name for the city centre in City Skylines. Oh well, it's strange what comes back around, isn't it? Let us begin. 2186, the year our empire fell. So this is all very messy. The Terran Empire unknowingly broke a galactic law, banning the creation of true AI. An ancient punishment fleet was dispatched. In very bright green space, apparently. Exactly 3.4 seconds after the AI Adam was first turned on, ancient battleships materialized near all major Terran colonies. So 3.4 seconds is how long our AI was online, which is a very fast response time, actually. As you can see, the Terran ships aren't doing very well at all. Hello, Red the Rage. Welcome to the stream. Terran civilization was fractured, divided into fledgling kingdoms. Ours is the only battleship that made it to the Void Gate out of the Sol system. And it's a very weak one as well, actually. So now we're getting our random map generated. So here we go. Right, this is where the tutorial would normally kick in, but I have actually played through the start of this game a bit, so I know what I'm trying to do. So, let's put it this way. Every system is a hex grid like this. You wander around, you explore it, you've got some long-range sensor information, so if it's not... Well, it is randomly generated each time, but friendly stations are always this shape. Enemy stations always show up, like you can see the outline of it. But you can see enemy ships around as well if there's a big one nearby. But then if the randomly generated / hidden ones, you might get one, you might not. But in general, there's a risk rating on tiles where you might come into contact with stuff. So that's threat 2, that's threat 3, that kind of thing. And it also shows the faction as well. Like yellow, I think, is scavengers. Red, I think, is a faction we're going to get introduced in shortly called the Adamists? No, it's not the Adamists. It's the Church of Adam. I think that's it. Also, what happened to the FTD playthrough? Actually, Red, it's just like it's just been a general channel shutdown kind of thing because I've just not been in a good place and not been up to doing anything stream related. So hopefully I'm doing a bit better, but basically just everything's been a mess, and that's why everything on the channel just like ground to a halt. That's why there's been a real lack of content for, well, far too long, honestly, but it's still the state of things. But yeah, Terraphobic is not been forgotten. I mean, heck, I even remember the name of it, Terraphobic. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, like, exploring this randomly generated hex, so we can see roughly what will be there. Then our goal is to reach the exit gate at the far side. So Nick's gate B, in this case, the exit gate. When I go to this, it'll hop me out into interstellar travel, and then I spend time flying here, there, and everywhere. And time is the thing that goes on in this game. It takes us 3 months, I think, if I read the clock right, to move between tiles even. Travel between stars, it takes years. And your crew will die of old age, usually. At least I've not seen them die of anything else, but I know it can probably happen. But yeah, so you're a generational ship just flying around out here. And it takes time. But anyway, though I think I can change the names, can't I? No, I can't change the names. Oh, that's a mistrick. I can't change the names. But I can assign them to different roles for my ship. Chief Engineer, Weapons Officer, and Mon Capitan, the Captain. The problem is, though, that these roles, they restrict what abilities become active, based on the colour. Weapon Officer will only have red effects active, Chief Engineer will only have yellow. The Captain will have red, yellow, and purple. So purple will be active if I put it with the Captain. Purple is also active if they're just left in the officer pool. And in this case, I've got while travelling in the void. So right now, 5% more likely to get a new officer appear in my ranks while flying around in interstellar space. Which is 5% better than 0. That's really terrible. And then Merchant, all prices in friendly base stores are percentage cheaper, 22%. That is a really strong one, actually, when we go to a friendly base. So I need to decide where to put these guys. Sadly, I do not have a good engineer. I mean, yeah, this dog creature here has got maneuverability effects, but it's minus 14%. So that's going to be a penalty. If I put you here, it's active. Yeah, maneuverability goes down. Ship acceleration and turning speed reduced by 14%, which I don't want. But I've got to have him in here. So that means he has to actually go in as the weapon officer, which is actually a good slot for him. Maneuverability penalty isn't in there, and his ability for drain is. So drain strength plus 500, which you'll see once we get into a fight, actually. Then we got the instructor, who has sabotage, and merchant, who has drain. I actually want the merchant effect active, but that's only when we go to a store. So I might as well throw Ray and Rhyme into the chief engineer slot for now. No bonus at all. And I'll throw Roy into the captain, because that'll give me a 300 strength sabotage. Or it would, but apparently Roy is a rookie, so it's cut in half to 150. Still better than nothing, I suppose, but yeah. But those are abilities that I can play in an actual fight. So let's do that. Close. Right. Since my crew's assigned, I can actually move around now. So let's see. I start at 2204.1, and I can move to the planet Ome, or Ohm. Yeah, 0.5. So I think that took me 4 months. So we finally made it to the next system. Let's scan the system. The destruction is extensive. A few Terran population centers remain. Some remnant Imperial fleets seem to have been rebuilt and are broadcasting friendly comm signals. There's something else ahead though. A newly built starbase. Unknown design. So this introduces our first antagonist. There might be more, there might not, I don't know. So approach it and scan it. Incoming broadcast from the unknown base, Captain. A message to all who will listen. The Terran Empire has fallen. Our savior Adam has fallen. Join us, and all will be avenged. Adam rebuilt. We vow to build a new empire for Adam. We vow to eradicate the Eternals. So, some sort of revenge cult. It was inevitable. It's been 20 years. So, it took us 20 years to flee from Sol. They're all over the system. Com chatter referring to them as the Cult of Adam, which is, if anyone lost track, that's the name of the AI that was built in Sol and was alive for a total of 3.4 seconds before being horribly murdered by the Eternals police force, effectively. So, yeah, I can detect subspace signals from other nearby solar systems with their own cultist groupings. So, now we start to get some choices in how we respond and things, and these can have other in-game effects as we go. First off, they're mad. We're lucky the Eternals left any of us alive, which is partially true actually, and then we can question it. They claim they want to rebuild Adam. I don't think there's actually any effect of this one, so there we go, rebuild Adam. Captain, the message continues. Under a rebuilt Adam, a new empire will rise from the ashes of the old. All resources will be claimed for the construction of our God and Saviour. Who join us will be rewarded. All who oppose or stand by idle will be destroyed. So it's an us or them mentality. So our only response is arm the weapons, Corsan. I don't think we're going to get by here without a fight. So yeah, it's either with us or against us. It's an absolutist mindset. So, Corsan. I agree, Captain. Cultist starbase scanners are already locking onto us. I can detect a long-range mass driver spooling up. So, not a very warm welcome. So, to battle stations. And now we drop into the combat mode of this game. There we go. Now, one of the odd little things about this game is its combat mode actually has technically 2 modes. We can play it as an RTS style mode, which is what I'm doing here. I can right-click, tell my ship to move around. Ship weapon turrets and things fire as they will. So that was a minor, quote-unquote, enemy. They can actually still be very dangerous because they're effectively just a small ship in their own right. The turret's tracking something else. Yep, here comes another one. Ooh. And here comes another one. So, yeah, these little guys tend to be in swarms and they have a variety of weapons. Left to their own devices, my turrets will target whatever's nearest to me, basically. Luckily, we start off with a single heavy turret, which is that one on the front there, along with an engine module, which is at the back here. You can see the thrusters flaring. And a command module in the middle, which, if it blows up, basically we're dead. Though we can reload from when we entered this particular system. So there is an ability to come back without losing too much progress. Though if you choose to or not, that's up to you. But yeah, as you can see, I can move around, I can change my angle, change my position. I can actually do some target locking, which I'll show you in a moment, after I show the other mode, which is, if I click that, it switches to manual control. Which, as you can see, locks my ship at the bottom of the screen. And now I have full WASD control of the ship's movement, and weapon systems now respond to my mouse. So I can manually adjust and aim my weapon systems. So it's more like a direct top-down space combat game in this mode. Apart from the fact that you've got the turret systems which you can guide all over the darn place. So you got a choice in how you... Oops. So yeah, that's that long-range mass driver that it mentioned. Now, this is a good point to mention something else. Notice how it was firing really rapidly at first, but then it slowed down. That's because this game also models energy. So every system has energy. You can do attacks that target energy. There's also environmental systems and things that can affect it. And modules that run out of energy, they function at a greatly reduced rate, depending on how quickly you can get them to recharge. Okay, got close enough for the other weapon system. I'm going to switch back to RTS mode, since that's what I generally like to use on this. Admittedly, it centers on your ship, but you can get a nice view of it. I'll also hit tactical pause, because, of course, this game has that, so... There we go. And it lets me look around, that kind of thing. Also of interest, though, as you can see, it has highlighted a few things as well, and I can mouse over things for more details, so it lets me ostensibly plan what I'm going to try and do. So, on this target station, this is red because I've been damaging it already. The mass driver's down to 258 health. Its energy is at 13, so that's why it's firing more slowly. It's out of power. Lord, if I make a stream, I must say it. Lollard, I posted in the Discord chat, actually, that I've got a stream going on. Yeah, but welcome to the stream anyway. So yeah, individual things. I mentioned that the turrets normally go for things that are nearby, but I can actually right-click to give manual orders, and if the weapon's in range, it will target that by itself. So I want to blow up that mass driver. I've locked onto it. If I unpause, my weapons will do their best to go after that, and they actually got it. There we go. Now I'm just circling to avoid the rest of the weapon fire, which I'm actually getting a little annoyed at, so I'll do something about it. That's like plasma bolts. I'll target it, and I'll use the buttons down here. Oh, I forgot to do the... Oh, sorry. Okay, at here, a stream is currently going on. For some reason I can't type currently. Going on is Voidship. So there we go. Done. I've actually pinged the Discord now. Though when I started, everyone was like doing other stuff as far as I could see, so that's why I didn't bother. Anyway, I've locked onto that. When I was assigning my crew, they gave me like a sabotage number and a drain number, which are down here. So as you can see, I've got crew ability sabotage 150. That lets me throw 150 damage at something. So I'll throw it at this plasma bolt system here. Click, drops to 0. And I've also got a drain ability, which is an anti-energy. So that turret has 289. I can set my drain and target that as well. And that will throw a drain pulse at it. So I'm going to damage it for sabotage, and I'm going to drain it of all its energy, which will reduce its capabilities. So as you can see, a massive blue pulse went off, so that was a big boom. And the bomb went off as well, which greatly reduced it, and made it generally easy to destroy. Though also of note is the fact that the numbers are slowly recovering down at the bottom, and that's because there's a cooldown on those things, of a sort. It's not actually a cooldown, I can actually fire them again immediately if I want to. Yeah, but it's more like they needed time to recover, to rebuild up to their maximum strength, so that takes a while. And honestly, this station's no threat anymore, so I might as well just park and shoot it. Okay, just target that module because that's the headquarters module. It's what I need to kill. Also, I'll sabotage it again. And well, there's nothing to drain anymore. The battle is won, Captain. Is this the future of Terrankind now? Fractured and divided into cults and factions bent on impossible revenge. They will destroy what is left to us. Where do we go from here? Now, this is the first one that gives us a effect, really, because choosing this gives us a societal change, and that's the society of all the people living on the ship that I'm currently driving around. So I can say we go onwards with our survival. There is hope for the Terran race, which I think is, if I recall, that one gives me a bonus to the lifespan of my leaders. Note it doesn't tell you. You've got to guess or have done it before, so that's the only reason I know. Cult of Adam will kill us all by angering the Eternals again. We must stop them, which I think is a bonus to combat of some kind. Weapon damage? I'm not entirely sure. Then lastly, here's my preferred one, number 3. Whatever we will do, we must survive. That starts with gathering resources and building our ships, which is a 3% bonus to all resources that I gain from this point forward. So basically it gives me more freedom to build up my ship. Very well, Captain, there is a resource field up ahead on our current trajectory. Salvage what you can from the rubble and let's move on. There we go. And I already salvaged, so that's that. I will mention the salvage though when we get it again. It's just that I was in the middle of doing it, so I picked it up by reflex, which is my bad. So, okay. Now we hit the button, which takes us out of here. We only get this when we resolve the combat, by the way. So if we're in the combat, then either we win it or we die. Those are the only two outcomes I know of. So yeah, here we go. Right. Crew report. A major societal shift has happened within the population on board our ship. New tradition unlocked. A practical people. So this is the effect I just mentioned from my choice there. So up at the top here, society. Click that. And this gives me a breakdown of the people on my ship. My leaders all tend to live 65 years per leader. Resourcing efficiency is 0.99. I have a very small chance of inventing new techs by myself. But a practical people, survival comes first. To survive, we need a powerful ship. To build it, we will seek out resources and technology, plus 3% resources. So, yeah, as we go, we can get more traditions and things like that. Now then, we've not got anything else of interest here because this is still technically the first few nodes are preset. We'll always get that first station and we'll always get an asteroid field after that, so with the Brune resource field. But then from here on it is pure RNG, what is where. So let's move on. And that took us 3 months to do that. Right. Sensors report we're entering an asteroid cluster. Mineable resource pockets are detected. Possible ambush spots are detected. What are your orders, Captain? So we've got 2 choices. We can fly deep into the field and harvest as much as possible, which if there is an ambush here, that will trigger it. Or we can harvest the field cautiously and stay away from likely ambush spots, which reduces the resources we get, but also reduces the chance of us, getting into a fight. I don't mind fights, actually, oddly enough. So fly deep, get more stuff. But I think this one in particular, if you fly deep, there's no chance of an actual thing, because I've never seen it actually give us a fight. So resource processed successfully and added to the hold. No major incidents. Leave the area. I gained 791 resources for that, which is a sizable chunk. Also, now that we've got that, we can do something interesting because 1005 resources. We didn't have enough resources after the planet Ohm, but after the Brune resource fields, we have enough to actually upgrade our ship. So this is where the tutorial would be telling us to do so. But it's a good idea anyway, because there's some good stuff in here. So, ship. Welcome to the ship plan for Ion's Folly. So we've got 4 different classes of modules we can install. Installing modules affects our maximum speed and acceleration, so more engines makes it for a faster craft, more weapons and armor makes for a slower one. The general ship class is listed at the top, so as we get bigger we bump that up. I don't know what effects that has, but you know, it just adds to it. And as you can see, there's question marks, unknown modules. We can unlock those by finding the blueprints, by getting the blueprints as rewards, which are usually random, or sometimes we'll find them in shops and we must pay resources to get access to them. But anyway, we've got 1,000, which is enough for a lot of the initial modules. We can't afford a graviton beam cannon, but we can get a phase cannon if we were so inclined. I'm not going to, by the by. But cannons are spinal mounted weapons. They're generally best for when you're playing in top-down arcade mode, which is the WASD controls, since I can point the ship manually and then shoot stuff with it. But because they are locked to a forward position, very small gimbal tracking, so they do have a little bit of leeway, but since they're locked, they have a lot more power available. Turrets, my preferred weapon type. I like RTS. But as you can see, we've got already got a bunch more options in here, including the one I want, which is the ion beam. I'll get to that in a moment. But I'll also note my current weapon, heavy plasma, is actually locked. So if I lose this heavy turret or sell it, I can't replace it. Not until I get access to the appropriate tech. Then we got launchers, which is another worthy addition straight out, which gives us access to some slower firing but higher impact munitions. We start off with the bomb launcher, which launches a small explosive for burst damage in the area where it hits. We already start with an ion bomb included in the ship as standard, by the way. I just didn't get around to mention it during that combat. Also, I'm hoping stream chat's not packed in again. No, it's not. It's just that no one's saying anything as far as I can tell. Okay. The other option is BeamSat, which we can't quite afford, but that deploys basically decoy satellites armed with short-range laser cannons. So an area defense and a decoy, as it mentions in the actual purposes for it. Then lastly, systems. We got the fusion drive module, which is engines. We've got defensive guns, which can help protect us against missiles, mines, and fighters, all of which are viable systems, by the way. One of the things I like about this game is the fact that just about anything in here is viable. You can make use of all of it. Anyway, Fighter Bay launches up to 10 small fighters at once. Fighters will engage enemy capital ships, but also smaller targets like other fighters, missiles, and mines, so a general purpose thing. So it says here, useful as an automated defense, but also as a raiding offense, and it is actually very good to have fighter support. Everything else is locked though, apart from armored structure, which is actually the cheapest thing you can get. It doesn't do anything by itself, it's just like a chunk of hit points to protect other parts of your ship behind it. That's literally all it does. So yeah, anyway, let's go back to what we were doing. I want a turret, I want more firepower. If I can kill stuff faster and harder, I think that makes my ship better. And I could get a basic plasma turret, which is effectively a projectile class one. Low power single barrel plasma, which I can add to that. It does have its uses, and it's also relatively cheap. I can get a laser module, which is another good choice. It's not as powerful as the ballistics, but the lasers, they tend to drain power more rapidly than other weapon types. They also do less damage, but they don't have a travel time. So once the turret turns towards its target and starts firing, it's going to be hitting that target unless something is in the way. The enemy has a much harder time dodging lasers. What are all the parts I have on my ship? I've only got the basics parts right now, Lawlers. So what I've got is an engine module at the back, a fusion drive unit. It's the basic one here, 550. You can get it straight away. It gives me a lot of maneuvering power, and it's got a fair bit of hit points, though it is a bit on the fragile side. But if that gets blown off, then I take a massive reduction in how well my ship can move around. So that's the fusion drive unit. In the middle, I've got my headquarters module, which is the command deck where my ship crew all live. The basic power core, life support, all that kind of thing. So it's like the heart of my ship. If it dies, then I die. And that's it. It also includes an ion bomb launcher, though. And it's got quite a bit in terms of hit points as well, 1,250. So it's not that easy to take out. The ion bomb is also very useful, though I'm going to demonstrate that when we get into the next fight. Lastly, on normal at least, I've never tried easy. On normal, you always start with a heavy plasma turret, which I think is this slot here. Third slot along, actually. So we don't have the tech for it, but we start with one. And it's basically a double-barreled version of the plasma, which hits a good bit harder. And it's got more hit points, so as you can see, firepower 197 on that. Firepower 1088 on the heavy plasma. So it hits pretty darn hard, as well as being quite durable. As I said though, the drawback is, if we lose it or sell it at this point, we can't replace it. It's just very good as a flexible starting weapon. So that's the 3 modules we've got on our ship right now. Oh, I should probably mention, only the headquarters is actually locked in place. All of the other stuff, we can reshuffle that as we want, basically. Though you can only move like 2 squares away from the actual headquarters itself. So I've got my headquarters now on one side, the turret on the other, and the engine is in the middle. So you can restructure your ship like that. Everything's got to be connected though. So that's that. Anyway, sorry, back to what I was saying. We've got the missiles, which is another type. It launches long-range guided missiles. Can be defended against. Can be a bit slow firing and a bit weak, but they tend to hit fairly hard at a decent range. That tends to be what they do. It's like they're seeking missiles. They track the targets. That's their special thing. So not much else to say about that one, I don't think, at the moment anyway. Or at least it doesn't come to mind. The thing I want though, as I mentioned, is the ion beam. Fires a basic small ion beam which drains an enemy ship or module it hits of its energy supply. So this thing doesn't really do any damage by itself, but it saps the power out of whatever it hits. I don't get the power, by the way. It's not a vampire, it doesn't leech it. But if it's attacking an enemy engine module, it could disable the engine. If it attacks an enemy weapon system, it can stop that system from firing. Those small ships, it can outright cripple them if it gets a lock on them. So it's a very useful stunning weapon up close, despite the lack of outright damage. It's also fairly tough at 850 points. So that's what I want to have on my ship. Which also makes me a cruiser, rather than a destroyer. Something I would like to point out as well though. When I installed that on the front, it changed the graphic of the ship hull behind the heavy plasma. So rearranging the ship changes the shape of the module based on where it is. So as you can see now, this has got like a kind of wing shape beneath the ion turret. And I can install the heavy plasma behind it. And that's okay like that. But if I install it in front of it, it flips over. So now it's a reverse wing on the front. Sadly, we can't choose exactly what shapes it takes. We can only choose it by installing other stuff around it. But yeah, that's my ship as it is right now. 155, I can't afford anything else. Once I place a module, I can sell it, but it's like I don't get all the resources back. So anything I invest, its value is cut in half if I choose to sell it again. But this is a very solid start though. So anyway, sorry. I think I spent like 10 minutes just talking about the ship designer there. It's kind of important though. Anyway, moving on. Next destination, I'm going to head south to planet Fares, which says it's uninhabited. Hopefully we'll find something, but sometimes we don't. Take an orbit above the planet. What are your orders? Scan it. Scans indicate clear signs of previous civilization. Ancient ruins are scattered all over the landscape. We found a complex on the outskirts of one of the biggest cities that seems remarkably intact. No comm chatter, no sign of current life. So we can ignore it, or we can take a risk and start investigating. Prepare the shuttle. You land near the compound and enter it. After searching around for quite some time, your party finds the main room. There's a large, menacing-looking device with a doorway in the middle of the room. An inscription is on the top of the doorway, so it translates it. Obscure, ancient dialect, as always. Get close, but not exact. It seems to talk about the importance of courage and asks for the courageous to enter. Right, this is pretty simple one, actually. It speaks of courage, and to my knowledge, there's like 2 outcomes for it. What I have to do is, I have to send in an officer to this machine. Someone has to go inside. I can either send in one of my actual crew members, or I can go in personally. Whenever I've sent in a crew member, I've only ever seen it, like, it eats the crew member, and that's about it. It doesn't do anything else. I'm just opening a drink. There we go. Or I can go in personally, which, if something bad happens, you'd think that, like, you know, it risks ending the game. But, you know, I'll give it a try. I'll enter the machine. You enter the machine and the door closes. A compartment next to you opens up. Tablets inscribed with cultural knowledge, mathematics, and engineering schematics. You grab them and the door opens again. So yeah, whenever I go in myself, as Lollard, you just advised me to do, whenever I go in myself, I always seem to get something for it, so I've never known it to give me a different outcome. We can make use of this. Back to the shuttle. Tech reports. Ooh, that's a good one. This is randomized, by the way, but tech unlocked, new module available. Chain gun. We've got ourselves a new weapon turret. And this is a decent one, actually. So, here we go. Chain gun, 825. Now unlocked. Rapid fire, rapid targeting, plasma-based weapon. Fires a continuous stream of very fast projectiles. Good against fast, small enemy ships. So, it's an okay firepower rating, but its advantage is very high rate of fire, and the projectiles travel quickly. So it is good at hunting smaller targets, basically. As well as having decent hit points as well, and not being all that expensive. So chain gun is actually a really good one to get early on if you're going to try and use it. Otherwise, it's just something shiny to sit in your shipbuilder. Anyway, let us move on. Apparently Cannibals having problems on Discord. Sorry, I shouldn't be looking at Discord, but I'm paranoid about the chat breaking. Anyway, I need to fly back to Boone though now, which is going to change things. So that means basically I've spent about 8 months, almost a year of travel time in visiting that planet. Just half of that, 4 months like going out there, another 3 or 4 months just coming back. And that matters because, of course, of the whole your officers age and will die eventually kind of thing. So everything's on finite time. But anyway, the Gibbsov Nebula. Let's go. We're entering a dust nebula. Only short-range sensors will function. Resource indicators are off the charts, though. Oh, it's one of these. Can we harvest it? Yes, more data coming in though, Captain. We're now detecting a massive active sensor burst from deep within the nebula. We're blind, but whoever controls the sensor array will have full scans inside the nebula. Can you trace it? Affirmative, I can track the sensor burst back to the sensor array. This is most likely a Cult of Adam staging area. Well, I'll have to go now. I have theory on my driver's license. Okay, Lollard. You go and have a fun time with that. I hope it goes well for you. Sorry, just doing something about my aching throat. There we go. Okay. Most likely a Cult of Adam staging area. They're using the nebula as cover. I do not advise resourcing while the sensor array is functional. So, I can play it safe. I can stay the hell away from this place. Which I think will result in maybe a little resources, but more than likely absolutely nothing. Or I can say we need the resources, track that sensor array and man the weapons. go in full bore, all guns blazing. Which is actually okay. The only drawback is we'll be actually operating in an environmental hazard. So, well, it's actually relatively benign as far as environmental hazards go, but it's a limiting one anyway. Man the weapons! But, you see that? Almost 1,200 resources. These things are very lucrative. Continue and pause. Okay, this shows the problem quite nicely, because this is all I can see. Basically, in the Dust Nebula, you get a fog of war. You can't see where the enemies are, and you have to. The only enemy you can actually track to find is the sensor station, which is marked over here. So you can fly around, and you have no idea what you're going to run into, at all. There could be enemy capital ships out here. Oops, speaking of, there's an enemy capital ship. Oh, dear. And it's a bad one as well, for this early on, which is why I've just paused the game. Okay. Right, what's going on is we have a enemy ship which is heavier than me. It is actually almost double my size, and it's actually a carrier. So, that's an effect of the nebula actually. It seems I can't get details on the enemy ship's modules either when I try to highlight them in sensor mode. So okay, that's actually a lot of drawbacks to being in here. But yeah, I want to target that module anyway. Actually no, target that module. Go for that. Let us demonstrate the importance of the ship's shape and design and why I have everything attached. So let's start throwing stuff out. Let's see. Sabotage. Throw it. Drain. I'll throw it over here. That is a hangar module, and it's one of the reasons why we've got these little craft flying around. I'm going to hit that with a power drain. And I mentioned I was going to demonstrate my ion bomb in this area, and I'm going to tell my ship to start strafing away that way. Hidden here behind chat, we have the deployables / heavy ordnance buttons, which you can get more of them by adding more stuff to the ship. It's a piece of the UI I forgot would be hidden. But we have click to place an ion bomb. Ion bombs drain all ships and modules in range of energy, disabling them temporarily. So yeah, and as you can see, by selecting it, I've now got a targeting circle. This is why these are heavy ordnance. They're slow to recharge, but they hit incredibly hard if you can aim them properly. They also don't have friend or foe discrimination, so there we go. And there's a beep there which tells you, hey, there's something big and nasty being thrown around, watch out. That's essentially what that beeping was. But yeah, if I was within that circle, it would sap my own ship of energy as well. So that's why you've got to be careful with these things. Anyway, let's unpause and keep on moving. So you see massive pulses of blue. You can see what's going on with the fighters though. They are tearing my engine to shreds. My engine, I'm probably going to lose my engine actually to this. I mean, look at the state of it. It's already down to 160 hit points because of the fighter assault that's going on. However, what I just did was, that section I targeted was actually a piece of hallway. So I went after it because it had less hit points. And because I killed it, I just killed the modules it was holding onto the ship as well. So by doing 300 points of damage, I just killed an enemy hangar and one of their engines. So I've just done something nasty to them. Just like they're about to do something nasty to me, I don't think I can save my fusion drive unit. It's gonna die. Yep, it's dying really quickly. I just don't have a good answer to it. Answer to the fighters. 13 hit points. Oh dear. Okay, target that. Target it with the sabotage mode. Target that. Just kill it. And yep, there goes my engines. My engines just blew up. However, luckily my command center comes with some of its own engines, so I'm not completely crippled. I'm just very badly crippled. As you can see, I'm barely turning anymore. Also, my ion beam turret is not very good either. Luckily though, it's okay. Ish. I'm going to have to rebuild the engine. But I've just outright crippled the enemy ship completely now. I've blown off its other engine, I've blown off its last weapon systems. It's only the enemy headquarters module now, so I can just pick that apart as I like. And just give my abilities a chance to recharge as I do it. There we go. Word of warning, by the way, modules exploding, they actually cause area effect damage. So if I had gone too close to the enemy ship though, oops, something like that would happen. I think that damaged my ion beam a bit further. But yeah, my ship is, as you can see, a lot slower since its engine got blown off. But it's still here, it's still going. It's not too bad. He says, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, to win this fight, I just need to get down here and kill that module. And just hope I don't run into anything else on the way. Because if I do, I'm probably going to lose my ion beam module as well. On the bright side, if I do lose that, my ship will get faster. Yeah, poor ship. It's burning. Oh, by the way, you can get a repair ability. Your crew does come with that sometimes. And there is a repair module as well. But yeah, there we go. There's the sensor array. But there's no passive repair apart from that. So this damage is permanent for the rest of this fight. And there we go. My weapon system is doing things. If I kill you, I win. End of. And this thing, I think, doesn't have any weapon systems, so it's just like get to it and then start blowing it up. And there it goes. Sensor arrays down, they're blinded. Move out and we can start harvesting. We can ignore them now. My question is though, are the turrets going to turn? And the answer is no. Okay, right. This is something I've observed, by the way, in this limited visibility. And that's the fact that the turrets will still turn to track an enemy that gets too close. And they will do so at about 2 times, maybe 3 times the distance of what you can actually see. So if there's an enemy anywhere nearby, as in on a large portion of the map, your turrets will actually turn towards it and face it. The fact my turrets aren't turning tells me that there probably isn't any other enemies in this area. There is, however, some salvage to do, which is why I'm lingering and why I've not told it to take me out of the map yet. Now, you see this glowing yellow ball in this wreckage here? Usually, when a module blows up, it'll drop something like that, which is actually a little bit of extra resources. Sometimes you'll also get crew drop, so you can get a new officer. And sometimes you'll even get a piece of technology, if you're extremely lucky, just dropping randomly from a ship part that you blew up. This, though, is just a little bit of extra resources, and every little helps, so there we go. 4 resource units collected. Not very much, but it does add up. Also, since I survived this, I don't have to worry about the fact my ion beam module is basically on fire at this point. So, here we go. Right. So, since I've just left the fight, all module damage has now been repaired. So, everything is back to full hit points. It's all okay. Except for the engine module. That's got blown up. It's no longer there, so it's gone, and that means we have to replace it. On the plus side, I've got almost 3,000 resources to reinforce my ship with now. So, you know, that's going to be helpful. So let's do that. Right, what should I include on my ship? An engine would be really good because my speed is terrible. Let's put in a new fusion drive module. Greatly improved that. I'm not sure what the acceleration means, like QP... Oh wait, quadrants per second. Yeah, that must be what it means. Okay. Still, 2,500 resources still to further reinforce the ship and increase its weight, making it more dangerous. got some options here I can try. I could get another ion beam. I like to have 2 ion beams, ideally. They are very efficient at stopping other ships. Lasers are a worthy addition, because just of how they can lock on to things flying around near you. They are very effective at that, though the damage is kind of low. But I think what I really want is fighters and a bomb launcher. So, you know, minions and high explosives. A potent combination. Okay, fighter bay, I want it for the automatic local defense aspect, so it can help intercept and defend things that get too close, so I'll just attach that there for the moment. That's that. And launchers, the bomb is all I've got available, but it is pretty cheap, and it does fire fairly quickly because of its comparatively low yield, so I'll grab that, and that gives me access to an explosive bomb as ordnance when I'm in a fight. Which is in addition to my ship's existing ion bomb, by the way. So that's useful. I can actually afford a second bomb, which would make me very dangerous. But the thing is, my speed is already down to 3 acceleration again, and my max speed is dropping. So I'm actually going to put in an extra engine. An extra fusion drive. There we go. 159 max speed, 5 acceleration, so back to the same acceleration, but I'm now classed as a heavy cruiser. Because I've also got defending fighters, and I've got explosive bombs. So, you know. I'm just going to restructure my ship slightly. Let's put the engines to the sides. I'll put the bomb launcher in the middle there, and I'll just strap the fighter bay on the back. So, there we go. Rear launching fighter bay. That's alright. It also protects the bomb launcher a bit as well. So yeah, that should be alright for now. And as you can see, it's updated the appearance of my ship on the actual map as well. So I can actually tell at a glance if my ship's lost stuff or not. Anyway, next up, resource field. The Heiki resource field. Sensors asteroid cluster, fly deeper. Nothing here. Okay. 789 more resources. I'm going to hang on to that, actually. I'm not going to spend it for now. Instead, I'm going to the Maddox Nebula. Off we go. Entering another Dust Nebula. So, the flavor text is actually about the same. It's, so that's why I'm not reading it through again like I did when we hit the Gibsov Nebula. Can we harvest? Yes. I want to do it, so I'm going to fight. Here we go. And that gives me 1,700, so it's a bit less. There is some RNG to it, but it's still a very sizable chunk. And as you can see, ooh, I'm actually right next to it. Sure, okay. When I get close enough, this system automatically starts launching fighters. If I got a little bit closer, if the fighters would actually go and attack. Ooh, incoming enemy ship. Oh dear. This is a gunship type enemy ship. It's got 3 plasma turrets on it. Though, as you can see from its structure, it's also got some weak points as well. Namely, it's got corridor sections here and here. And those are the vulnerable points. And if we blow this one off, it destroys all of its weapon systems. If we hit this one, it blows off the engines. So, yeah. It's just going to turn towards us though, because that's the front of the ship. Right. First things first. Ion bomb. Shut that ship down, so it can't do anything. I'm also going to I'm going to hang on to that drain for the moment. I don't know what else is out here. I'm also going to back off that way a little bit. There we go. I mostly caught the engine modules in that blast, but the enemy ship is moving into attack position, and because I killed the engines, I'm going to pause now, move out, because we can actually win this fight right now, but I want to blow that up for the extra stuff. Which is why the fights are good to get into early on. My ion beam has shorted out that one, and I'm damaging it, but we also have our new high explosive, which I'm going to lob straight there. I'm going to target that with my guns, and I'm going to also throw out my sabotage, which, since that has about 300 health, my sabotage will basically cut its hit points in half before the high explosive hits it. This is going to do a lot of damage. Yep, there we go. Didn't quite kill it, but as you saw, as soon as that front one went up, the one behind it went up as well because it was so close to being dead. And that leaves this enemy ship completely disarmed. Which means I can just happily wander in and kill it. There it goes. Extra 27 resources, and I took a little bit of damage, but nothing major. I'm also suspecting there's nothing else here, because my turrets are not aligned together. I'm just going to fly a little bit and have a quick look-see though. Since my ship is actually in good condition this time. No, I don't think there's anything else here. Okay, let us leave. But we're building resources actually pretty quick. We could spend that to further boost our ship, actually. Make it more dangerous. The thing is, though, we're about to hit a friendly station. That's why I'm hesitating to spend stuff, at least right now. Actually, is my merchant in place? My merchant is not in place. Our next active stop is going to be a station. So, I'm actually going to swap my chief engineer and my captain around. So, my instructor ability is gone, as is sabotage. But my drain has increased, and I've got the merchant effect instead, which is everything's 11% cheaper. Oh, I get it. I get it. Purples that are not in an active crew member, if they're in the officer pool, their effect is normal. If they're an active one, the effects seem to halve. Yeah, the effect halves if you assign someone with a purple ability to an active role. Okay. Unfortunately, I've got to have that active. If I don't have her active there, I can't actually move. So, you know, as you do. Oh, by the way, once you go to a place, you can't trigger it again. That's why there's a white box around it. So, all of these places are now dead. There's nothing else to be done in them. So, planet Ucrip. Allied colony. Okay, nothing interesting really here, it seems. Hailing incoming vessel, Terran friends. Rarely do we meet outsiders from so far away. Feel free to land. We pay well for off-world resources. I can ignore them and keep flying, in which case nothing happens. I can't come back and visit them later, by the way. Or I can prepare the shuttle and land near the colony, which lets me do some trading. So, here we go. Alright. The system of Nyx. What system am I even in? I'm not sure. Okay. Right, so, when you trade with a place, they've got 3 random things. The price of the tech depends on the power of the tech, so these are fairly pricey, but I can afford one of them if I so choose. Or, I can spend a little bit of money for a Xeno guide, catalogue of possible Xeno archaeology sites in the system of Nyx. So this reveals ancient sites on planets, so I can more like to find stuff. However, we've already pretty much explored Nyx, because I think that's where we are. Yeah, we're in Nyx. It actually says there, Nyx Gate A. We've already visited pretty much all the planets, so a Xeno guide would just be a waste of money at this point. So the question is, what do I want to buy? We've got the schematic for an ion bomb launcher, which would give us access to a low-yield ion bomb. We've already got a stronger bomb than that. We don't really need another one, I don't think. So I'm okay with skipping that for now. And this one is the schematics to build a bomber. A bomber is a more powerful version of our fighter bay that we've got on the back of the ship. So it basically produces stronger fighters that also hit harder. Quite useful. So that one's tempting, but I think I don't want to actually get that. I mean, it would be useful, potentially, But I'd rather have the 2,000 resources to spend on other modules, so there's nothing here I really want. Besides which, that's another station ahead anyway. So let's move on to Sector 8. They've actually found an inbound fleet. Sometimes you get nothing in here, but yeah. Inbound fleet, prepare for battle. By the way, just a quick mention, you can't refit your ship when you arrive at a place. You've got to refit before you move to the next area. Let's see, what have we got? We've got a mid-sized enemy ship, actually. Which is like half again heavier than us. This one has got engines. Oh, it's one of these, I think. It's got dual ion bombs, so this is an enemy bomb carrier of some kind. It's got an onboard Q-Vant beam, which is actually a high damage laser, and it's got its own missile turret as well. And then the engines are on the sides of the ship there. So potentially this is dangerous. It's more of a damage focused one, kind of like that ship we faced in the last dust storm. Potentially it's dangerous. But the main problem is if we let it get close, it will disable a lot of the systems on my ship. Speaking of, here it comes. Also, I forgot to swap to get sabotage, so I don't have sabotage. I do have a stronger drain, though. Anyway, since it's flying at me, let's drop an ion bomb in its path, while I continue to back up at full speed. Okay, that helped a bit. Target that ship structure. Continue to back up. Actually, it's launching missiles at me. Oh, incoming missiles. Okay, there's its heavy laser. I'm going to hit that with the drain now, just to try and slow it down. I'm also going to deploy my bomb in its path too. But yeah, as you can see, it's lobbing some ion bombs my way, which have disabled my forward cannons. Ugh. Unfortunately, since we're moving, it means my plasma's actually struck. Oh, it hit my engine. Ugh. Okay, right, good. Ah. Sorry. Right, we're still dealing with the main enemy firepower, the laser and the missiles. We've just blown off their bomb launchers, so they won't be disabling us as much anymore. However, I stopped because there was a green orb that flew in from the enemy wreck, and that was a crew member. So we just gained a new crew specialist. We don't know who it is, but we've got it. We've got him. So, well, him or her, or it. I don't know which. We've got someone new, which we'll find out after we complete. First things first, though, we have to kill this guy. Which, unfortunately, since they're actually as maneuverable as we are, so we're having to chase them effectively, which is not ideal. Oh, that engine's almost dead, actually. If I go for that, we can potentially stop it. Oh, he's reached the edge of the map. Okay. And there goes his engine. Ha. I've got it. My ion module is a bit damaged, but that's okay. That's okay. There he goes. Okay, so it was just him. Salvage what you can. Move on. Let's go ahead and pick up the extra resources, which is like... actually, an extra 100 or so. This is why it's worth doing it. That one ship has given me a couple of hundred extra resources as well as a new crew member, just because I engaged it. So, okay, here we go. Right, finish. Crew report. New crew member, Dan Kibiek. Okay, what does he do? Oh, we've actually got a good engineer now. Well, a middling engineer, rather. Dan gives us faster energy regeneration, which means our modules will recharge faster, which is weapons, engines, yada yada. However, our ship modules will also have less hit points. 5% minus HP. So if we want the regeneration, we're also going to get a hit point penalty. I am okay with this, however, because I'm going to swap him for Roy, and then I'm going to put Roy into the captain slot, which gives me access to his instructor traits and his sabotage. And Ryan is going to be in the officer pool to get the full effect of her merchant trait. So I've just reshuffled my bonuses a little bit. Merchant is now at 22%. Instructor is at 3%. I think instructor is probably because being in the captive. Actually, let me just check really quick. Right, if Kwasan is here, my drain is at 500. I'm guessing this is going to be 250 now. Yes, yes it is. There we go. Okay. Right. So if an ability is in, if a crew member is in a slot where an ability will be active, but it's not the optimum one, like I think Drain is a weapon ability, so weapon officer, full effect. Captain can do it, but oh, I get it. Yeah, you can also tell by the bar thickness as well. So this one's got a thick red bar, full effect. That one's got a thin red bar on the captain, so half effect. Same with the engineering effects. So yellow, full effect there, half effective is the captain. So yeah, 4% there. And module hit points is now only -2% rather than -5. So the penalty is also reduced. An officer pool, of course, by pulling someone out of the officer pool, purple abilities, which are thick on there, goes to thin on the captain. And it's not active on the other two. Actually, in the shape of this, do we get a 4th officer slot? Maybe. Anyway, well, it looks like there might be space for one down there, but I don't know. Maybe an extra weapon officer or something. Anyway, instructor, captain, there we go. Module hit points -5%, but we get a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I could leave the system if I go to the Nixgate B. That will automatically end it and send me out into Interstellar. But we've still got a little bit more to explore. So first, planet Valhalla. Off we go. Approaching station now. Scan shows... Okay, so this one's got something else going on. Scans show standard Terran design. No energy signatures. We are getting slight comm chatter from the planet below, though. Prepare the shuttle, investigate the planet, or ignore it. Investigate. Your shuttle lands in a clearing near the source of the comm signals you have detected. It is a destitute Terran colony. This is potentially a good one. The locals welcome you with apprehension. Continue. Local settler. Please, we are barely getting by as it is. We can offer you resources from our... I've not seen this one before. We can offer you resources from our mines, just don't harm us. Will you take these 750 resources? Oh my. Okay, so this place has basically been raided and shot up and hit by pirates or something, I don't know what. And they're just saying, please don't hurt us, just leave us alone. Here, take this stuff and just go. 750 resources is 750 resources. Sorry, just another drink. Will you take them? I can either just say yes and take it, or I can say, we mean you no harm and need no offering. As tempting as it is to get them resources, we're actually okay, we've got 3,300. So, no harm, no offering, it's alright. Okay. So we got something else. The locals seem much friendlier once they realise you are telling the truth. A few of them even asked to join your mission. So, either we're getting more families or we're getting a new crew. We got crew. Okay, new crew. Ricarda Brands, who has kinetic weapon range increased by 12%. That's actually really bad. I mean, he's only got a single thing. He's also older than several of other people as well, so yeah, we just got really unlucky with who we got. Kinetic range 12% though is actually a fairly high one for that, but the fact he's only got a single ability and it doesn't mix well with what we've already got either. Like, I could swap him out for the captain, but I want that instructor bonus. No, actually, we're about to finish the map. and that's when the instructor bonus becomes more valuable. But if I swap them now, I'll lose the sabotage ability in return for the kinetic range ability. Or I could lose my drain ability for the kinetic range ability. I can't put Quarsan into the captain slot because then I'd get the maneuverability penalty. So that wouldn't be of much help. Okay, anyway. Sorry, enough of that. Moving on to the Azures resource field. Let us see. Says report, we're entering an asteroid cluster, mineable, fly deep. Nothing here. Okay, we got 500 more resources. Which is still a very decent chunk. Our last thing, though, is another hazardous area, the Frau Nebula. This is potentially quite dangerous, but we'll see. Captain, we've entered an active ion storm nebula, which should give you a hint as to what it does. We're picking up a cult of Adam fleets in scanning range. Sensors report ion discharges all around. In non-battle conditions, we can invade the ion storm. Battle would be hazardous. So we can try to evade them. Don't know what that does, I've never done it. What can I say, I like to shoot people. Or we can take our chances. Crew, prepare for battle stations. Right, so what goes on here is effectively there's warning icons floating around quite a lot on the map, and then they periodically just go boom in an ion explosion. The thing is, they actually cause some physical damage as well, but they also disable stuff just like my ion bomb does. So effectively, it's a map that's littered with active ion bombs going off all over the place. At least you can see where they are going, which gives you a chance to dodge it, but you've got to keep an eye on it. Here we go. Oh. Right, okay, never mind. Apparently we're starting right next to our target. Well, you know how I like to deal with these guys. Target that ship structure, which is 600 hit points actually on this one. Sabotage to drop it down a little bit. Fire a drain at the beam. Fire my ion bomb at it while it's still turning towards me. Fire my regular bomb to hit that area. Yep, just cause a lot of damage as fast as possible. And then work on blowing up their ionic weaponry. So, speaking of, ion discharge, right there, backing off. They have a nasty habit of tracking your ships when they get nearby, so if you're too close, they move towards you. If they're near the enemy, they tend to move towards the enemy as well, so there we go. The enemy ship just got blown up by the ion storm. That was not me, just to be clear. That was actually the storm. Clear the sector, salvage what we can. That was very, very short, though. On the bright side, though, I am going to get another 60 resources, which is not bad at all. And you can see, like, there's ion explosions all over the place. This is what makes an ion nebula a bit of a hazard to be flying around in, to be honest. Anyway, that's that. Let us finish. Continue. And let us fly. There's nothing else to do here. So let's reshuffle crew. Roy, I'm pulling you out so we can get your instructor. Ricardo can do the flight. So Ricardo's in charge. And we'll reshuffle once we get out of the void, because now it's time to go interstellar. Don't get me wrong, this is actually really quick. Really, really quick. Oh, oh no. Apparently, chat died and I didn't realise. Sorry, Epic. I didn't see the message saying that you had to go. Oh well. Anyway, welcome to the next stage. This is the galactic map. I see there's various places I could go, like there's Sol, but Void Gate's been destroyed, no intel. So there's some dead systems. There's also live systems, and you can explore the routes to see what's going on. There's some stuff marked here, but we don't know why just yet. But those are actually current destination systems. We could fly towards them if we wanted to, but we don't have to. But yeah, I think this is a map of basically the scattered remains of the Terran Empire or something like that. We need to go to Leonid, which is controlled by the Cult of Adam. Nikato, Phoebe, which is controlled by scavengers, and Haven, which has no intel, sensors cannot get to it, no void gate, but it is marked as an active quest for reasons which will be made clear fairly soon. If we want to go to Leonid, there's several routes to get through it, but basically this takes a long time to fly around. Or I could just fly south. There's apparently a route down here which takes me all the way to Phoebe, or Phoebe, or however you pronounce it. There's a lot of systems down here. Might be worth flying this way. It's all scavengers, hostile Terran in that one. The Cult of Adam is near around where I am for the most part, though. So I don't know really what happens, why there's hostile Terran, why or who's in charge, stuff like that. I said I've not really got that far. All I've done, as far as this game is concerned, is I've flown to the nearest objective system and then got blown up. And I've never got further than that, because the quest missions are actually kind of dangerous. So let us proceed. I'm wary that there's some kind of like other effect to, like, if you take too long, something really bad happens. So let's explore locally at least. Let's go to Mirandel, which takes us 11 years to get there. Here we go. Right, now, it's explaining why we've got some of the systems marked. Captain, interstellar comms from surviving Terran colonies all seem to be talking the same thing. It's widely known the AI Adam was destroyed right after it was turned on. The timing of the Eternal's onslaught was impeccable. Sadly so, what is the new information though? It seems as though Adam was online for 3.4 whole seconds. Go away, Windows updates. Remind me later. I'm playing a game. Go away. Right. Hopefully that didn't trip the thing out or anything. Please say it didn't. Right. It was active for 3.4 seconds, but it did something in that time. There was a subspace broadcast from the station housing Adam. It's been discovered still hopping from subspace relay to subspace relay. This is huge. What does the message say? Adam says, "Terror will fall and fall again. My gift to you." Leonid, Nikato, Phoebe, and Haven. So this is why those systems are marked. So Adam knew it was going to get destroyed. And that it's given us destinations. So what are the ramifications? Various factions are translating it differently. The Cult of Adam is taking it as a list of places to conquer and rebuild a new empire. Terran convoys are flocking to these systems. Scavengers are keeping quiet, so we don't know what they think about it. They might be our only hope for survival. Whatever we find, we must head there. So this is our main quest. Agreed, Captain. The last system on the list, Haven, is unreachable by void gates, though. It's in a nebula shielded from all sensor scans. So yes, this seems like our way forward. A cause and hope to rally behind. I'll draft up a statement to the ship. So, crew report. A major societal shift has happened. New tradition unlocked. United under a common cause. I can't check it, though, until we arrive at our next destination. Anyway, time is passing. So, here we are. As my laptop chokes to death. After years of running practice simulations, a crew member's skills have leveled up. Ricardo Brands has gotten better. I don't really care. He's, I think, my worst crew member. Oh well. But anyway, we have now arrived in Mirandel. We can check the society shift, which says, United under a common cause. The empire of our forefathers is gone. The only way is forward with Adam's message as our mission and our guide. 10% crew spawn rate. So this increases our chances of getting new crew. So that's that. Let's reshuffle because we're here. Ricardo got 3% better in kinetic range. That's okay, but I still want sabotage, so I'm going to put Roy back into the active slot here. Other than that, it's all fine as it is. No, wait. What? Instructor is like... That has a regular tick, I'm guessing, doesn't it? But still, 13% chance of new officers spawning. So that's good. That's good. Anyway, moving on. We have got ourselves a new system to explore. Let's fly into here. A cult of Adam fleet inbound. Let us fight them. And okay, we've got a brawler type. I don't know what else we've got since this is a randomly generated one. That might be the only enemy, actually. Yeah, it's the only enemy. It's the only one highlighting. So let's go ahead and hit it. Target that. Ion bomb, conventional bomb, sabotage, and drain that one. There we go, just like hitting it with everything, including the kitchen sink. And as you can see, that was really effective. It's just basically murdered that ship, and it's dead. Scavenge what we can, which is 87 extra resources. That is fine and worthy, considering repairing my ship after the fight doesn't cost me anything unless I lose modules. Off we go. Next up, the Thome resource field. Asteroid cluster, I want to fly deep. Still nothing, okay, sure. But that gave me another 500, so lower yield in this area compared to the last one. But anyway, we're just flying into empty space again, and we've got another battle on our hands. So let us see. Oh, and it's one of those guys with all the missiles and things. Fine. So sabotage. Let's drain the laser. The missiles are already inbound, so there's not much point in doing that, in targeting that with a drain. I will, however, sap the entire ship and throw a bomb at it. I'll also tell everything I've got to start targeting that central pylon just to get rid of the enemy's ion bomb capability. There it goes. Yeah, this is the thing. This is the kind of tier of enemies I've been facing in my time playing. So, as you can see, my ship is kind of geared for it quite well. Salvage what we can. Is there anything else left in the wreckage? There is not. Okay, got it. Moving on. Back to Thorm. Then we move on to Stavos resource field. Still only a threat too. Fly deep. Still no ambush. Okay. Another 550 resource. We're actually building up quite a bit. I could upgrade my ship substantially with all this. But I want to visit the stations and see what's there, basically. So, planet Ortilas. Approaching station now. Scans show standard Terran design, no energy signatures. Slight comms out from the planet below, so that means there's something's going on here. Near the thing. It's the same as before. Destitute Terran colony. The locals welcome you with apprehension. Please barely get by. Yeah, it's the same one. Okay, we know what this one will do. I can either say yes and take resources, or I can say no harm, no offering, and get a crew out of this. Having better crew is always going to be useful, I think. So, no harm, no offering. Let's see if this is, again, a poor crew member. Let's see if that's a thing. Much friendlier. A few of them join your mission. New crew member, Teresa Popov. I wonder, is it crew and fam? I think I'm getting more families actually by doing that. Teresa Popov though is actually okay. She's got the strongest sabotage ability I've come across yet. It's still only one skill, one effect on her. So that might be like an indication that like you don't get a multi-skilled one, but you can get one that is fairly strong in a specialist sense. So that might be worth considering. However, I'm also going to swap out Teresa for Quor, so that I can get that tasty 550 sabotage, which gives me a total sabotage effect of 700. Basically, if I see an enemy with a module that has 700 hit points or less, and my sabotage is fully charged, I can just blow it up immediately. Like, say, those walkways on the enemy ships that have like 600 hit points. I could just click and they go boom. quite useful, that. Other than that, the loss of the drain ability, I could reduce my sabotage by like 150 points and retain some drain ability. I would get the maneuvering penalty, but I would get instructor up to its full potential. So a slightly higher chance of officers. I think, yeah, let's go with the officer chance, and we'll have to suffer the maneuverability effect. Shouldn't be too bad, but I can afford new engines if I need to. Small, friendly Terran... Okay, this is a new one. Sensors report a small, friendly Terran loyalist fleet nearby. We're also picking up a Cult of Adam contingent a bit further off. What are my orders? I can try to dodge them, which I think will mean nothing. Or we contact the friendly fleet, which gives us a chance to get involved in this. You're openly using Terran comm codes. We presume you're still loyal to the Terran Order. If so, please join us in ridding the system of this Cult of Adam fleet. We might not make it without the help of the Ion's Folly. We'll join you, crew to battle stations, or we can't help you at this time. So this is again, we still have a chance to back out, or we can go into the fight. The thing is though, this is a fight with an allied force involved. So it says there's a friendly fleet. There will be friendly ships in the engagement as well. So this is a fleet-on-fleet battle. Though not a super heavy one. I think there's going to be more enemies, but it's mitigated by the fact there's friendlies as well. So we're just going in and helping our allies in this one. Still, if it goes well, we do get a reward for it, so that's why it helps. So let's see, we've got right, we've got 4 friendly ships, which are 3 laser frigates and a carrier. So okay, and we've got 4 enemy ships. So I think this is like balanced between the two sides. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's balanced. So because there's 4 light enemy ships, there's 4 light ships on my side, and then there's 2 capital ships. There's me and my opponent, which is one of those carrier-focused guys that we came across earlier on. So this is like a general fight between the two forces. And I'm going to regroup with my allies. I can use them as decoys. So my allies are also going to die pretty quickly as well, if I don't start getting involved. So, enemy carrier is distracted. It's attacking my ally there, who is about to die. But their headquarters has 650 hit points. If I still had my maxed out sabotage, I could kill this ship in a single click. I can't quite though. I'm just going to sabotage it for 550. I'm going to hit this ship here with a drain, so that'll sap that of a lot of its power. And then I'm going to lob around some ordnance, so let's throw a bomb at this ship, and we're going to throw an ion pulse at that general area. This will hit my ally as well, but I think my ally is about to die anyway, so that's okay. I'll also tell my ship to target the enemy headquarters as well. So basically I'm going to ruin that ship's day with a lot of dangerous things. Yep, the bomb I threw at it just killed it outright after the sabotage hit it. My ally died as well, of course, but I know for a fact that wasn't me, it was actually the enemy's fighters that did that. But there we go. We have won. We've got the stuff. No contacts, Captain. We've won. We can contact the Allied fleet, and they will give us a choice of rewards. While I fly around in the background and collect resources. Contact the Allied fleet. You have our respect and our gratitude. We're building up this attack for years. This Cult of Adam fleet has been harassing our base for decades. No more. Now it's our turn to help you. What do you need? Now, we can ask... This is basically the same rewards as that that destitute colony one that I've found 2 times so far. I can either ask for a new officer, or I can ask for resources, in which case they give us 750. I don't know, however, if they give a higher quality officer, because they are an active fleet after all. I'm tempted to just say the resources though. We've actually got a lot of officers at the moment. Yeah, you know, let's say officers. Done. We'll make your mission clear to our crew. The more adventurous within our ranks are sure to join you. Good. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. We've got Venita Vande has joined as a crew member. If I check my lists, yeah, crew and families and civilians has increased. So it seems by going after personnel, we can increase the number of people on our ship, as well as find new officers to throw into things. So, Benita. Alright. Maybe one skill is kind of the standard really, but she's got Doctor, which is crew live percentage longer lives on average. So that increases the average life of our crew. Check the society though. Resource efficiency is fine. Leader lifespan has gone up because we just got a doctor, so it's now 70.6 years. So our officers will last a little bit longer. That was a good find. Oh, that's a mission summary, by the way. It tells us locations and things and what we've done so far. Anyway, ship. We've not been getting any tech, so nothing really interesting here, unfortunately. I'm still considering like starting to upgun because we've got like 5,400 resources in stock. But maybe we'll find something at Halber. Let's go and see. Hailing the Captain of Irons Valley, we are a Terran loyalist station under attack by a cult of Adam Fleet. We need assistance. We repeat, we need assistance. Alright, this is another one which is interesting. This is actually a defensive mission. What we have in this is we have the station itself. We have loyal fleets, which can include a capital ship or two, sometimes. Usually it's like a load of smaller ships though. And what we have is a wave defense situation, where waves of enemy smaller ships and capital ships will come in regularly for like 3 minutes, and that's when the final wave will spawn, and we've got to hold out and defend the station. So I'm going to plot an intercept course straight away. The rewards for this are quite tasty, so it's a good one to do. It's one of the few sources of free technology, actually, so you know, that's a potential reward. Okay, what have we got? We've got, starting out, we've got 4 small ships allied. We've got 4 small hostile ships, and we've got an enemy capital, which is one of the more vulnerable ones. Let's fly. We've also got a counter somewhere which says last one, which I think the counter's up at the top behind my recording readout, so there is that. Okay, that ally is about to die. It's time to unload the bombs. How many hit points does that turn? Just trying to... There, 589. I can almost outright kill it. So I'm starting to lob stuff around. I'll lob my bomb at it. I'll hang on to my ion bomb though. I'll also target that too. There we go. I actually saved my allied ship because I killed the enemy's offensive potential before they could kill my ally. There we go. One more allied gun in the fight. That's always useful. And oh, here's one of the advantages of lasers. Sometimes the enemy ships are really, really fast, and they can be a massive pain to try and deal with. Let's keep on going. Last enemy small ship. When we take out a wave, by the way, then that is usually a signal. No, what am I talking about? Now that I'm thinking about it, they actually tend to appear on a regular basis. But here we go, wave of small enemies coming in. But I am in position to start doing nasty things to them. That is okay. I don't know what's happened to that one. Also, sometimes there's this glitch with the ion beam where it just keeps sounding. But pausing with tactical and stuff like that will just reset it, make it go away. That's good. Okay, next wave inbound. I will lob. Actually, they look like they're scattering. I'm going to leave them be. I was going to throw my ion bomb at them, but you know, I don't think I'd hit that many of them, so I might as well save it for if an enemy capital shows up. Just keep on going though. Yeah, those were missile ships. Once the missiles, though, they fire really fast when they've got power. That's something I've noticed about them. But when the power runs out, they get a lot slower. So it's like hit and run style weapon system. Oh, here we go, last enemy. Actually, I still can't see the timer, I don't know. I don't know when the last enemy wave is going to hit. Yeah, I've still got more than enough firepower for all this, so that's okay. That was the last wave, alright. Scan show no contacts again, Captain. We are in the clear. Contact the Allied station. Our deepest gratitude. The Cult of Adam fleet has been pestering us for years. Finally mustered up the courage to a full assault. We don't have much to offer in recompense, but we'll try. So, I can ask for officers / crew. I can ask for resources, and they give like 1,000 odd. So it's a bit more than what seems to be the standard of 750. Or, I can ask for technology. That is potentially the most valuable thing I can ask for. And that will unlock a random module for me in my ship designer. And if I was to buy those techs, that'd be several thousand plus easy. Though it will not help towards repairing / refitting my ship, so it's more investing to get more toys than anything else. I'm going to go with the tech, because I want more stuff, so tech. Experimental module schematic we developed to defend from Cult of Adam incursions. Alas, we didn't have enough time to build it. You can have the schematics though. So, excellent, here we go. So yeah, we've got ourselves a toy. Oh, that is an excellent one. It's one of the rare ones as well, actually. I find that I sometimes struggle to get this one, but heavy ion beam. I am a fan of that module, must admit. So, this is the ion beam. Yeah, firepower 144. However, this is the one we just got, the heavy ion beam. Firepower 2,347. It costs almost 2,000 to buy one of these things. But basically, if an enemy wanders near it, then oh no, all of its power supply just evaporated. Because this thing will just short out any kind of capital ship module it goes after. Very, very quickly. So that is actually a great thing to find. The only problem is, of course, lack of outright normal damage. So let's start installing and upgrading our ship. This is going to make us a lot heavier. Battle cruiser. Now, we've got 2 heavy ion beams out on the wings. I want to get more power. We've got a couple of thousands. So what I'm thinking is like extra fusion engines to increase our speed. Let's bring the sides in a little bit so we've got those ion cannons. We're faster. We've got massive disabling potential. We've still got almost 1,000 resources so we can afford one more thing, basically, as long as it's not one of the mid-tier kind of things. Like, do we need the I have a plan. Okay, I'm going to sell off that ion beam on the fronts. Admittedly, that doesn't run out of power as much. The heavier ones drain power more quickly, so they run out more often. But I'm going to sell that one on the front for half. And then I'm going to use the money there to get more damage capability. I can either go for a chain gun, 433, or I can actually get 2 basic lasers, which it'll make this ship slower than if I just get a single chain gun by itself. But it does give me 2 fast-tracking lasers rather than a rapid-firing chain gun. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking like I'm going to sell the lasers eventually and get something else in place of them. I might as well actually just grab a chain gun because I'll hang on to that one for longer. Plus the chain gun's got a few more hit points. Yeah, let's get the chain gun. So yeah, the nose ion has been replaced by a rapid-fire plasma chain gun. You know, this is getting very, very dangerous, this ship. My only problem with the heavier weapons, though, is the fact they don't get, like, that white graphic on the side. Like a wing effect on it. So, it's an appearance thing, more than anything else. The heavy ones don't look quite as good as the lighter ones. I'm also going to put the bomb at the front. while the heavy plasma sits there at the back. So, actually, if I do it like that, that removes the white graphic though. What if I put the... Just reshuffling for appearance now, don't mind me. 4 engines, double heavy ions on the back, bomber launcher in the middle, fighter bay in the rear of the ship, heavy plasma and chain gun forming the ship's nose at the front. That looks okay. Apart from the fact that fusion drives have less hit points than the ion beam, so they'll be more easily blown up. Let's move the ion beams forward a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that looks kind of dangerous. That'll be fine. Though, actually, because of that, I can actually afford an extra engine as well. I can afford extra stuff to put onto the ship. Oh dear. Let's grab... I'm tempted to say something else, but we can afford the engine. Let's put an extra engine just to increase our speed even further. So this ship is not short on the engines. Like, at all. The only drawback is it's now it's definitely a blocky thing, but it's got all of its weaponry effectively at the front. Which I'm not quite so happy about. Let's install the fighter bay module off the side there, I think. No, I like it. I like it symmetrical. I shouldn't be procrastinating like this, but hey. I'm gonna... Yeah, let's have the fighter bay just tacked onto the side of the ship there. Sure, why not? But our ship is now looking at that. I think that's probably my only complaint about the game, really. As your ship gets bigger, it turns into a cube. And there's not much you can do about it because of the restrictions on the build grid. All scanners show no contacts, Captain. We're in the clear. Nothing happened. Sector 10. All scanners show no contact. We're in the clear. Oh, I want to shoot stuff with my shiny new weapons. Sector 9. We've just been flying around for about a year before we found something. So, through to battle stations. We've got stuff to blow up. Here we go. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to blow up, actually. Ion beam. I'm going to throw an ion bomb at those ships there, which I mostly missed. But, yep, here go the ions. Which I think it might actually be a bit loud. Oh, I can't change settings in the middle of the thing. But, look at how much damage I'm doing with all this. Let's throw out the bombs really quickly. I'll hit that U with the drains to a smaller ship. I think I need to turn down the sound settings for general stuff. But yeah, look at this though. That ship stood no chance at all. You're dead. You're all dead. And I'm going to scoop up an extra 105 resources from you. Thank you. Come again. Okay. Let's turn down the game sound options slightly and continue. 143. We've blown through all the resources, of course, so that the savings just let us do a massive upgrade to the ship. Set support cultivated and fleets. Sure, we need stuff to shoot at. We need more stuff. Need more resources. Need more anything and everything. And the inbound fleet is a single. Oh dear, this is actually going to go really quickly, isn't it? Okay, fighters starting to launch. Chuck out the bombs, aim view, sabotage that key block. And every ship basically goes boom. There it goes. Salvage what you can. But yeah, notice how much faster the ship is going as well. It's moving around pretty quickly. But that was also the last place in this system as well, so it's time to fly on. Exit gates. Into the void we go. On to the next system. We've been to Nyx, of course. We are going to Deathbury, which will take us 9 years. It's scavenger controlled. And then we can either go on to Leonid or we can double back to Nyx again. which actually has me curious. Does it refresh if I come back to a system? I mean, I've been gone for basically decades at this point. Unfortunately, Ryan Rhyme has died of old age, so yeah, we've been playing long enough that my crew are starting to drop dead. Oh, we actually gained a new one. Just in time for that one to die. A crew member has lately proven themselves to be possible leader material. They've now been added to the officer pool. Noah Marek has been added. Oh dear. A junior crew member died today in an engineering bay accident. It was no one's fault. These things will always happen, so... Oh, okay, right. There are random events which can help shape things as we go. So, the bodies are piling up, literally. Even with the length of our interstellar mission, Terran traditions always stated that all dead will be stored in the ship holds, to be taken back to their homeworlds for burial. Soon we'll start sacrificing food space to store our dead. Okay. No interstellar mission has taken as long as our journey. On the ship's bridge, in a private meeting room, you convene with the officers and the ship's religious leaders to solve this problem. Right, Father Harry. There's no way, Captain. We are not breaking tradition in such a flagrant manner. I understand that we cannot ever take these people home. But we cannot deny them a planetary burial. So, it's not demanding that we fly off to their homeworld and deal with it that way. Teresa Popov. There is President, Father. Back before the imperial traditions, your own faith ruled burial in space as lawful. But the Father says those were barbaric times. Typo there. We were new to the Void, infatuated with it. The Void is not where a Terran soul can rest. If you deny Terrans proper burial rights, there will be consequences. We need faith and tradition. So, enough, you've made your case. Our little problem still exists. So, since there's no compromise on this matter, what can we do? So this is one way or the other. And there's a few choices that tend to pop up in this kind of thing. So, we can follow the President, we can decree burial in the Void as the only lawful way of dealing with our dead. So basically, if you die, we're going to kick you out the airlock. There we go, off it goes. Or we can say, I agree, we need faith now more than ever. Sacrifice the storage space. The dead will be buried every time we land on a suitable planet. So what do we care about more? Do we care about practicality? Or do we care about the spirit of the people, the morale? The President does count, I agree, but I don't honestly know what the effects are for these. So I think I'm going to say, for the people, the dead will be buried when we reach a suitable planet to give them rest on a planetary surface. So a major societal shift has happened. New tradition unlocked: burial on land. And Teresa Popov has leveled up her skill. Continue. Okay, so that was a bit eventful there, but we had something happen. I think over time more and more of those things will happen as well, so maybe they'll get more severe too. I'm not sure. Anyway, dang it. Okay, so that's the effect. I thought it might be something like that, but by sacrificing storage space, we've given ourselves a penalty. Our crew deserve proper Terran planetary burials. Without a home, any habitable planet will do. So minus 2% to our resource intake. It's almost complete. It's almost overtaken the practical people bonus we've got going on. So if we were to pitch people out the airlock, we might have got extra resources. I don't know what the results would have been. So anyway, I wish there was some kind of indication to that. Like, you know, it's like if you choose this option, you might get these. I mean, even some kind of indication would have been nice that I might actually suffer a permanent resource penalty. But, you know, it is what it is. First step, the Terron base. The Terron base. Okay. Rarely seen open Terran codes. We are friendly, so dock. Unfortunately, we're short on money, so we could buy full up-to-date scans of the entire system. Potentially valuable, since we've only just entered the system. Unfortunately, it's a bit too pricey. We could go for local intel, info on scavenger patrol routes, so I think that might reveal where we're likely to run into enemy ships when we fly around the place. Or we can go for local delicacies. A large supply of the best foods available on Terran, good for a few months at least. That's... That does tempt you. Honestly, it's like, don't know what that does. Yeah, here we go. Reveals empty sectors with no chance of an enemy encounter. So that's what that one does. System scans. Empty sectors with no chance. Reveals ancient sites on planets. So, okay. So the archaeological survey just reveals ancient sites. So that system scans is like the two combined. Local intel plus planetary survey. Local delicacies, though. Access to this resource will start a new tradition for your society. That's all it tells you. However, I know the initial facts. I don't know if socials can change over time. I suspect they can modify themselves after a while. But local delicacies, at first, this is minus 100 resources every time you arrive at a station. So if you visit a lot of stations, it can add up really quickly. But I think I seem to recall this like a positive effect as well. So you know what? Hell with it. I'm going to actually grab that. 160. The effect I think is like communal feasting or something. Yeah. Major society happened in the population. New tradition unlocks communal feasts. What has that done to me? Yeah, here we go. Sharing a meal with all on board will bring us together. Resources are diverted to keep our food crops varied. So, minus 100 resources every time we visit a base. But, lifespan is increased by 3%. So, our leaders last better as we go. Which is alright, actually. Unfortunately, the lady who died was the one with the merchant bonus, so we've actually lost that now. Oh well. However, the replacement, Noah Merrick, is actually a worthy one to bring into the fold. Maneuverability penalty, which is unfortunate, but ability repair. So this is one of the rare ways that allows you to fix damage in the middle of a fight. So I'm throwing Noah straight into that, so repair ability. I've sacrificed energy regen, but the maneuverability penalty is actually not that bad. The problem is Khorasan with their drain ability has got a lot of stuff there. So I'm tempted to swap out Khorasan, sacrifice the drain ability, which is sometimes useful, sometimes not, for energy regen, just to get that maneuverability back. Though there is a slight decrease in module hit points. Still not sure about Ricard, which is like 15% kinetic. Though I think plasma weapons count as kinetic. Not sure though. So we've got the Doctor and the Instructor. The drain ability, as I said, sometimes useful. Though it was halved in the Captain spot as well to 250, which is not that great. If I could combine it to get it stronger, that would have been great, but no. Still, 200 repair ability, that's quite significant. Anyway, moving on to the resource field at Adama. I think that's a name from Battlestar Galactica, if I recall. Let's just fly deep, see what we get. More resource, 595. Excellent. Next up is Clark. Fly! Ports, we've got there. Fly in, and I seem to be getting very lucky with this, like not getting ambushed in these places. Anyway, Sector 4. Next up is a scavenger fleet inbound. Prepare for battle. Right, we've got a scavenger fleet coming in. Okay. And it's a fleet, there's a small cluster of ships here. The thing is, this is a different faction from what we've been playing against so far. So, scavengers, their smaller ships tend to have bombers, really, and in this case we've got a fast frigate with a built-in mine launcher, so they drop high explosive bombs. Individually not that dangerous, but they can saturate an area very quickly with explosives, and they're a massive nuisance. On the other side we have a carrier. Relatively compact. but fairly durable one. But there's like 4 different carrier modules and a mine layer and a quintuple mass driver, which is a very long range kinetic cannon, which, if you recall, we encountered right back at the very start in our first combat. I'm going to turn around and engage these guys, actually. Because, you know, I'd rather not have these little pests flying around. Our fighters can help keep some of the mines off us, but they're no guarantee that we will not have to deal with it. So, at least we've got the fighters. They are a good anti-mine defense in most cases. Oh, and here comes the main ship, which is actually what I'm concerned about, which is why I'm keeping a hold of my ordnance for the moment. And yeah, lasers would have been a great counter for these, because scavenger small ships tend to be quite fast. Here, come in. Got him, okay. At least the ions are basically crippling those small ships as soon as they get near me, which is very useful in itself. Heavy ion cannons are really good. Come in. Yep, unfortunately without a laser, I didn't have enough tracking to actually catch up with that ship. I might have to throw a sabotage at it, since that doesn't actually require a lead or anything like that. Or I could just throw a bomb at it as well. But as you can see, I'm getting railguns from a distance. Oh, there we go. Enemy small ships annihilated. Okay, that leaves you, the enemy carrier, which is going to be a pain. You're launching fighters. I'm not happy about that, so I'm going to start throwing bombs at you. For that, you're moving at a... I'm going to throw a bomb there. That might hit you. Actually, I might be about to knock your engine out. I'm not sure. Oh no, the bomb was a direct hit. I'm not actually going to target this time. I'm going to throw out... Actually, the headquarters is damaged. I think I can sabotage you outright. But here's an interesting thing, though. This is why I've got the ions on either side of my ship. Since the enemy has got equal distance on these 2 modules on the sides, my ions have split their targeting. Like this one here is going after the enemy mine layer module, and this one is attacking the hangar on this side. So they split fire, basically. But yeah, I'm going to sabotage headquarters. That's probably going to kill it outright. Yep, there it goes. Kaboom. Never underestimate a decent sabotage, but we've also got something important here. And that is this blue square in the enemy salvage. That is a technology. So that means I'm going to get a new module out of this. Let's see what it is. Ion burst? I've never seen that one before. Let's see, what is it? Not a cannon. Is it a turret? No, it must be a launcher. Ion burst. Okay. An ion burst fires a small ion charge. Ion power 720, which is, I think, is low. I think my own. Yeah, my main one. My main one does more than that, definitely. 720, medium-sized AOE, no physical damage, knocks out enemy systems for a short period of time, useful for disabling specific enemy systems or smaller ships outright. So I think that's a small but fast-firing ion bomb that I've got there, an ion burst unit. Seems to be I think it's the equivalent of the regular bomb, actually, which fires fairly quickly. I don't know. Anyway, 1,200. I think upgrade my ship a little bit further with an extra fighter bay, which I will attach behind the existing one. So now we've got our own little dedicated fighter wing just attached to the side of the ship back there. And if I do it like that, it's not even connected by the graphics, so I'm just going to leave it like that so it's attached. But we've got 2 fighter bays now, which is giving our ship a bit of a carrier kind of role to it, which is very useful to have. So, moving on, we have Sector 5. Fly that way. Says to report a scavenger fleet inbound. More targets. That is fine and dandy. We have got a single enemy target. Okay, so there's even less... There's no small ships to contend with, I don't think. But there is, however, the enemy fighter squadron still, so let's deal with all this. Single bomb right in the middle, that's done a lot of damage. And yep, that's brought it down to the point where a sabotage can finish the kill. That bomb is such a useful thing to have on. Clear the sector. Scavenge what we can and fly. But yeah, look how many fighters we've spat out now that we've doubled our fighter base. As a point of fact, doing that also means we can have up to 20 fighters out in space at once rather than just 10. So that's another reason to have them. They launch twice as fast, you can have twice as many. That's why carrier style craft is so flippin' dangerous. Anyway, Sector 6. Off we go. Scavenger fleet nearby, but they have not detected us yet. We have a chance to avoid it or shoot them. Of course I'm going to shoot them. I shoot everything if I think I can get away with it. Okay. We've got small fighters, but we've also got an enemy fast mover. Oh, darn it. We've got something else, which is we've got enemy rammers. They've got more hit points and they've got a burst of speed, as you can see, like this one's like suddenly charging forwards. But they are built to basically just go kinetic and ram stuff. So they also have collision damage, whereas most ships just fly through each other basically. Luckily though, my ion beams basically crippled them, and it's leaving them easy prey for the rest of my weapons. This guy, however, is chasing me. I do not like that. I'm going to bomb it. There you go, that's disabled it. Since it's in place, I'm going to throw another bomb at it. This time of the explosive variety. And I'm also going to sabotage the headquarters, which this might be enough to kill it. Let's see. Yep, there it goes. I really like that combination. I think I could do with more direct damage though. Scanners are clear. We got a new tech. We got more resources. That went really well, actually. Drone hub. I think I've seen that once, but I've never had a chance to play with it. Let's have a look. If I recall, it's a launcher. Nope, it's not there. Launchers. Yeah, here we go. Drone hub. 2100. Launches a small satellite which uses highly aggressive missile-equipped drones to guard the area it's placed in. Drones will attack all enemy units, enemy capital ships, enemy fighters, and enemy missiles. Useful both as a light area defense and also as a decoy. So, basically I've got a deployable hangar bay now, if I care to install that one. And that will actually be more survivable than the BeamSat as well, because BeamSat is just a single satellite by itself. This thing lobs around drones which can defend itself and attack anything that gets nearby. So potentially that's a very dangerous thing to have. It all costs a couple of thousand to get it though. I still kind of want to have lasers, but my heavy ions are just so good at stopping stuff from moving. Sector 7. Here we go. Sensor report scavenger fleet nearby. Kill it. Let's go. Single enemy fast mover of the type we know. Nothing else. I call it fast mover because it likes to get close, and then it's got this module here called a plasma vent. An improvised weapon which vents plasma straight out of a plasma power core. Slow to track and fire, but if it hits it causes major damage, so it's basically like a flamethrower style thing. However, I am going to bomb and sabotage, and the ion will go out as well, so if you don't get killed you will get disabled. So satisfying that. Oh look, enemy! Boom! Off it goes. I'll accept it. In fact, if I just, I could basically sell a lot of the rest of the ship if that was all I had to contend with. Like, just fly around with a bomb launcher and sabotage ability, and that's it. Anyway, Ion Storm. Scavenger fleet scanning it. Battle stations. Okay. We will fight in the storm. I'm definitely flagging at this point, I think. But anyway, we've got a... If I zoom in... that's the only contact, so we've got a single enemy carrier class ship involved here. Which is, again, railgunning. That seems to be a standard feature of scavenger style ships. It's still turning towards me though, so I'm actually going to go bomb it now. So bomb, ion. We're out of sabotage range, but we are getting closer. Just don't move. There we go. Ions disabled it. Bombs have hit. In those few moments, it's launched a massive number of fighters, which is, again, why fighter sites are so dangerous. But I'm going to sabotage now. There it goes. And we'll see what it's got. The fighters, though, are still coming after me. Just like to point that out. But my fighters are more than a match. 124. We're getting a fair bit of resources, but I don't feel the need to upgrade my ship again. Planet Chilty. Scan it. No breathable atmosphere or life signs. No usable resources. It's a dead rock. Nothing here. I get the feeling that that means if I'd bought the system scans at Terron, I might have found an artifact site here, but I couldn't have afforded it. Oh well. Antares. Asteroid cluster, scan it, and again, nothing. I'm kind of surprised at how little I'm getting attacked in the asteroid fields. Still, 600 resource. That's fine. Sector 12. Okay. Says report a scavenger fleet nearby. Kill them. I get the feeling if I bought the system scan, it wouldn't have shown me a way through because I've encountered enemies in every empty sector, basically. So I've got 4 enemy ships, which are bombers. Are you all bombers? Torch. No, we got some mobile flamethrowers, mobile bombers, which drop in mines. I've got an enemy carrier behind us. Okay. It means I'm going to lob out my ion bomb to slow it down. Okay, that didn't actually hit the engines, so that didn't slow it down as much as I wanted. I will, however, bomb it and sabotage it. There it goes. Okay, that leaves me free to deal with the smaller stuff. Provided I can catch up to them because they've gone flying up over there somewhere. Yep, slow down. Come back here. Oh, hello, Torch. You're dead. I get the feeling these fast movers would be very vulnerable to missiles. I know they're a very good counter as lasers, though as I said, I don't have any of those. Maybe a couple of point defense lasers on the wings would be a good addition to my ship. Who knows? Well, actually, I think it would be a good addition, honestly. Scanners, salvage what we can, and off we go. Right, okay. Now, this is something we've not seen for a while. We've got an enemy base. Oh, hello, Clint. I think my chat's died again. I just happened to be glancing towards... I pressed the wrong button. I just happened to be glancing towards my laptop, and I saw your message. Let's just refresh the chat so it comes back on. There we go. Yes. Hello, Clint. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to this highly populated corner of the interwebs. It's nice to have someone watching again, actually. Anyway, Anorod base. So we've got our first enemy base. Nothing special, though. We can see that it's fairly sizable from its shape on the scan. There's going to be some kind of defensive fleet, most likely, but there's no sign of other defences, as far as we can tell. So, Scavenger Space Station. There's no way almost through this sector without confronting it. So, this is basically the system's boss. We've got to kill it if we want to finish this sector. There's no other way out. So, okay, kill it. Let's kill this boss. The only good thing, though, is this boss doesn't have engines because it's a station. Pop is pop that's... Oh, hang on, I'm about to get rammed. Here we go. No, this is why I've got ions and things, just like kill anything that gets too close to me. Yeah, pop is pop, that's all that matters as long as you're having fun. Yeah, that's what I try to focus on now. It's like, just trying to have a good time, really. There's an enemy small ship over there, another rammer, but let's go and kill it. So... We've got multiple small contacts. We've got 2 large contacts, though, 2 capital class ones. Oh, interesting. Apparently, if I depower a ramming ship, then it actually loses its collision mode. Pop is pop, that's all. Oh, not all that matters. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure about your statement, so thank you for clearing that up. Oh dear. I'm getting peppered by massed railgun fire now. Okay. You're launching fighters at me. I am going to retaliate, of course, with an ion bomb to slow you down. Come on, stop it. Oh, right on the engines. Perfect. Okay. Sabotage their headquarters and throw my explosive bomb at them. Here we go. Also, my chain gun's a bit damaged, actually, thanks to those rammers. Let's use my repair ability as well, and just give that a couple of hit points, 100 hit points back. So here we go. And splat. That's that. Okay, this wasn't visible from the system scan, but there are enemy satellites around this base as well, of varying types. So we've got a resource depot, cobbled together for spare parts, holds resources. So if I kill that, I think I get some salvage from it. Then we've got a torch satellite, which is of course short-range plasma. What else do they have? Torch. Seems to be almost entirely close-range gun satellites around this station. What's the station got though? It's got fighter bays. It's got 1, 2, 3 long-range mass drivers. That explains the number of shots coming at me. And that's all it's got. So that's okay, actually. Apart from the fact it's going to peck my ships to pieces before I get close. Let's actually switch over to... Let's try this in primary control for a little while. I've not done this for a bit. Yep, that'll do. I have more than enough firepower to just lay waste to the enemy orbitals. Apart from the fact that my energy drain is a bit out of control sometimes. I'm alright. Okay. I just don't tend to use this mode because I'm not that good at leading targets with the slower travelling weapons like my heavy plasma. Though an advantage is I can actually use the heavy plasma as an improvised point defense. Same with the chain gun. There we go. So I could actually use these things to try and shoot at enemy fighters and try to knock those guys out. If I was so inclined. I could use them against enemy mines as well. Not against enemy explosives, but yeah. I just prefer being in an RTS mode, to be honest. Anyway, let's see, what have we got? Is the bomb launcher ready? It is not. I can't actually see the recharge bar. I think the ion bomb is ready then. Yes. Ion bomb is good to go. Let's throw that out. Is there decoys in this game? It looks fun. Is it a new game or is it an old game? I've been playing a Void. This is actually a relatively new game, and I know I'm answering out of order. This is pretty new. They added... I have no... Porps and hard shields. Okay, I'm going to have a poke at a Void when I finish this stream then, just to see what's been added. Hard shield sounds like it might be interesting. Porps, I have no idea what you said there. Anyway, this is a new game. It's Voidship, Long Journey. Torps? Oh, they've had torpedoes for a while actually, if that's the weapon system you mean. Hard shields... Do you mean the shield invulnerability module? Sorry, not invulnerability. The one that means that shield piercing weapons can't actually pierce them? I'm going to have to look, I'm a bit confused now. Anyway, in that case both of those have actually been in there for a while. I think it's just you've not played it. Because, yeah, those were both in there last time I was playing it, like, late last year. They came in with the first combat update, I think it was. Anyway, continuing back to your questions though. This is a new game. It's been out for, I think, like a few weeks at most. Maybe just a week at this point. It is pretty fun. It's like, it's a... Actually, let's continue while I'm at it. Let's also throw out a sabotage. I don't like those railguns, so I'm going to tell my ship to blow that up. I'm not damaged too much, like... Oh, I see a green bar. Ah, my high explosives are ready. Okay, I'm going to throw that out. There we go. And I'm just going to pick it apart at this point. Yeah, between the ion bomb and my ion cannons, the enemy ship is basically just no longer functional at the moment. Okay. But yeah, this is like, there are decoys of a sort. Like, it depends on what things will target. Like, my fighters can be counted as a decoy for enemy fighters and mines, because fighters and mines will attack fighters, so they act as a defense in that respect. All scanners show no contacts, we're in the clear, salvage and move on. But since I've been flying around, I've already salvaged all the drops. Stuff like that. Ooh, fighter updates. Oh, that is... I did not know about. Ivorian has needed any kind of fighter update for a long time. I actually want to go and have a look at that now. Great. Sorry, anyway, decoys. Yeah, so anything that targets fighters, you can use your own fighters as a decoy against that. You can also get deployables, which will decoy anything bigger. Like, you can throw out satellites and things, and then enemy ships will target those, if they're close enough. They'll still go after you, though, as well, so it depends how you play them. Anyway, that's Anor base gone. Let's see. Anyway, this is like, it's a rogue-like survival kind of thing. Well, it's rogue-like, it's randomly generated, that's the aspect it's got. But as you go, you gather resources, you upgrade your ship with new stuff, which you can also unlock as you go. And so that dictates your ship performance. Like, my ship has a lot of fusion engines strapped onto the back of it, so it's actually pretty maneuverable. It comes with its own ion bomb, which comes from its core module, which is what you've got to keep alive in the middle of the ship. But I've added an extra bomb on the back there, so that's where the explosive bombs come from. I've got ion cannons, which disable things that they strike. For actual damage, I've got a heavy plasma turret, which you start with. I've just not sold it, because I can't replace it if I do. And I've got a rapid-fire chain gun, which is many plasma shots from my nose. So I've kind of made a highly maneuverable gunship with high explosive support weapons, which you can throw out from time to time. And then I've strapped a couple of fighter bays onto the side of it. So that's where my supporting fighters come from. It's just like these two modules on the side here. So yeah, a lot of DACA. It disables things that get too close. It has no real sustainability though. It has no extra options for recharging power. So that's why the ion cannons, like, they shut down every so often. They just fire so fast. Really, that's the problem with them. If I wanted to, cannon modules are spinal mounted. Basically, they're forward facing. And so if I was playing with WASD, which is like that direct control mode I switched to, I could use this as a more powerful fixed cannon in the front of my ship. And to more easily use that. They're more powerful in return for the lack of firing arc on them. In RTS mode they're less useful, which is why I don't really have them fitted. They can sometimes be of help though, must admit. Then there's all these turret modules in here, so you know, all this kind of thing. Basic plasmas, chain guns, lovely toys, different weapons. Launchers, that's where I got the bomb launcher from. I'm currently saving towards getting a drone hub launcher, which is actually a satellite system. And that would go in what you were asking, because it would act as a decoy against bigger ship weapons that are trying to come after me as well. So that will help out there. Or I could just put a beam satellite launcher in here instead, which is also sometimes useful. And then utility modules, I can actually get an anti-fighter / missile defensive gun. I can get more fighter bays. I can add just armor plating. Just strap it onto the side of my ship to get in the way of incoming fire. Or I can add more engines. So this is why I've got 5 engines, because I've just been adding extra ones to make my ship go faster. Unfortunately, I can't paint it red to make it go faster, sadly. It'd be nice if that worked, but unfortunately that's 40k only. Anyway. And the other thing you can do, Clint, is like you can get crew in here as well. And you've got to have at least 3 crew. 1 captain, 1 chief engineer, 1 weapons officer. Yeah, no big red button either, sadly. You can get... Your office can give you extra things, though. So, like my sabotage ability, that comes from my weapons officer here. And Teresa Popov. This is all randomly generated, and they die off over time as well, because it takes time to travel around the place. So eventually these guys are all going to die of old age in the course of my mission, and I'm going to have to replace them. But I've got spares in here as well, which are also of use, some of them, though some of them are just doing nothing. Something I figured out during this stream is different positions have different benefits, which is what these the thickness of these coloured bars mean. Like, this has got a thick red bar, the captain has got a thin red bar. So, if I put someone in a slot where there's a thick red bar, then that means that the ability acts as listed. So, sabotage, strength 660. Active bonus, sabotage 660. But if I put her into the captain slot, the captain can use any kind of ability, but it's small bars, so the effects are actually cut in half. So... I find that quite interesting, how you can just swap around what crew you've got, trying to find a good combination for what you're trying to do. Like, I've got extra energy regen, I've got a repair ability, I've got sabotage in my active slots. In my officer pool, I have instructor, which gives me extra chance to spawn new officers, and doctor, which lets my crew live longer. So those 2 are active in there. Unfortunately, I've got penalties as well. I've got a full-fledged maneuverability penalty of only -3%, luckily, so that's not too bad. But my captain has a module hit point penalty of 5%, but since he's captain, it cuts in half to 2%. But with him as my captain, my modules are basically a little bit more fragile. So, you know, pick and choose as you do, depending on how you're trying to play your ship. Though sometimes you just don't have a choice, because you might only have 3 people, unfortunately. Anyway, 1,700, I don't want to spend that, so I'm going to fly on to the end of this system. The Earthy. And now we're back into the main map. We are in interstellar space. Well, intersystem space, rather. And we fly around to get to different systems and explore further. I start off in Nyx, which is 14 years away. So there's high chances of crew dying as I fly around out here. I've just come from Miranda. What is an ability called Drain? Every module, every ship, every system, including satellites by the way, has a power system. So when they do stuff, they actually drain their internal batteries. They will recover over time, but you can use drain abilities to effectively act like an EMP surge and destroy enemy battery supplies. So if an enemy is fully charged, hit it with a drain, and the drain will be deducted from the enemy's power charge, which can either reduce how long that module will be active for, or outright shut it down completely by meaning it has no power left in it. So it's like a targeted version of the EMP bombs which I was throwing around with such wild abandon. Quite useful. Anyway, Leonid is an objective, but I actually want to go back to Nyx, which is where I started, of course, because I want to see actually if it refreshes a system, since basically I've been gone from there for at least 20 years at this point. So it's like 9 years from here, it was like 12 years from Nyx to Miranda, so yeah, if I go back to Nyx, basically I left it 30 years ago or at this point. So I'm wondering if it has refreshed the system or not, or if I just can't go back into it again. It's kind of a useful thing to know. Crew report. After years of Roy Aline has leveled up his abilities, so his abilities are a little bit more effective. Valentina Vande has leveled up. Okay. A crew member has died of natural causes, death by old age. Ricardo Brands. And I wasn't using him anyway, But yeah, one of my officers just died of old age. Oh, and so was Corsan. Again, I wasn't using him, it was that blue dog guy in my officer pool, but just died of old age. Corsan is one of the 3 crew I started the game with, though. So, I think that's 2 of my 3 original officers are now dead. Ah well. The guy who leveled up first with the instructor perk, he's the... Ah! No, wait. Hang on. Yeah, poor doggo. Roy Valen, he's 61 now, but he's been here from the start of the game, and now his sabotage is stronger and his instructor is stronger. Vanita Vande leveled up as well, so her doctor ability just got stronger, and that means my leaders will live longer, which is useful. I think Roy, he's going to die when I'm in flight to the next system, most likely. He's 61 at this point. Let's check. Life expectancy is 75 years. He might live to see 1 more system, but no more than that though. He's going to die relatively soon. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, demographics. My ship has a population. It's a generation ship basically. 80% Terran, 20% Mer, whatever those are, like dog people. Average expected lifespan is 75 years. My resourcing efficiency has gone down slightly, so I think there's a fixed penalty as your ship gets bigger to how much resources you get. But this is my tradition list. As we play the game, my crew will pick up traditions as we go, and that will have ongoing effects. So my people are practical. So to survive, we need to decide what we're doing, make a stronger ship, more technology. So I get a resource bonus from that, 3%. I have communal feasts, which is sharing meals and things. So a little bit of extra lifespan, but it costs me 100 resources every time I visit a base. So my leaders are around longer, but I sacrifice some resources for it. I've got burial on land, which is minus 2% to resources, as it stands right now. I don't know if these mutate as we go along. I suspect they might, but I have no idea, really. But basically that almost cancels out practical people in terms of extra resources. And then United, which is one we got for starting on the story. 10% crew spawn rate. So that is, I think it's every decade we're flying around. We have a chance of spawning new people. Yeah, here we go. Chance of spawning a new officer per decade travelled in the void. So for every 10 years I'm flying around, I've got a 16% chance of getting a new person in my officer pool. So yeah, crew die off over time. Oh, they really do actually. I mean, I was actually at several hundred crew, families and civilians on board at one point, and that's dropped sharply. I'm down to 165, and I don't know what happened to them. I think they've just been dying off as we've been flying around. Oh dear. Either that or having modules reduces the number of crew. That's a thought. Anyway, the planet has not refreshed. It seems, however, that the resource field might have. Supply deep. Resource process. Ah, okay. So actually that's the tutorial one. But it seems that when you fly away from a system and come back, it does actually refresh the system, which is interesting. We're in the orbits that scan the planet. Signs of civilization. Prepare the shuttle. Large mention. This is actually the same as the one I got before, so that means I might be able to repeat events if I come back to a system. The thing is, you've got to fly to another system and go through that first, and then you come back. Description on top of the doorway, which says importance of courage. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier in the stream, this means we need to personally enter the machine. Otherwise, whoever we send into it in our place is not going to come back. And even though I've raided this place before, I got a new tech out of it. So, okay. So, these events are repeatable, it seems, if you know what's already there. Okay, sure. Need housing, or have you been getting hit without armor or shields? Well, technically I have no armor, and I've not even got shield tech, so that's the thing. However, all of my crew live in the central headquarters module, in the middle of the ship. And as far as I know, just your ship getting damaged doesn't actually kill people. So, I don't know where my crew have been disappearing to, honestly. Oh wait, resources. Hang on. Resources. Can I afford the drone module? I can. Excellent. Let's restructure. Let's move the fighter bay over to the other side. Let's move my bomb launcher behind it. Like that, or I can move that instead. Maybe? But I want to buy a new drone hub launcher, which I'll put there. So, yeah, we've just got ourselves an extra deployable system. That does bulk the ship out a bit if I do it that way. But I'm thinking I want to have that like that. So yeah, we've got the hangar, it goes straight back into the engine modules. Of course, my ship is no longer symmetrical, but I'm almost at the point where I can afford an additional engine, so I'll strap a 6th engine module into the side there. Sure, I can fly around quickly. Dust Nebula. You can harvest it, yes. Yeah, so basically, after we pass through, it seems like everything resets itself. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's something over there. What have we, oh, we got an enemy ship, enemy carrier. I could bomb it, but I think I'm going to deploy the satellite. So this is the area effect where it engages stuff. But I'll deploy that there. And now it's launching some drones. Hole in the middle to keep the OCD under control. Now, as I said, just after this I'll be able to afford stuff. But yeah, that ship's turned, so it's actually targeting that satellite I threw out. However, this ship is no real threat to me, so I'm going to deploy my sabotage on it, directly on its headquarter module, and I'm also going to throw out my bomb launcher right at it. So that'll kill it quite handily. Yep, there it goes. I find there's some small ships around here as well. Oh dear. But yeah, the only reason I've not evened out the ship is because I couldn't quite afford it. Though that said, the ship wasn't actually symmetrical before because the fighters were both on one side of it. So, you know. Sensor down, they're blinded, we can move out and harvest. There's more small ships coming in though. Unfortunately, small ships are not really going to do too well against me. That said though, they seem to have teched up. Yeah, I'm willing to call these enemies... Yep, they are more advanced. So, I wasn't sure if this was a thing, but there is power creep in the enemy's forces. When I came through here before, the enemy did not have access to EMP bombers, which is what I was dealing with. And those enemy ships, they seem to be fitted with their own version of my minigun turret, which is on the front of my ship. Also, all my turrets are pointing in the same direction, so that means there's still an enemy out there. And yes, Lord, I am still on it. My ship has upgraded substantially since you went away for your theory test. Oh yeah, multiple enemies still. Come back here. Come back here. Aha. I don't like it when the enemies just go flying all over the place. You're dead. Come back. One engine, 2 less. I'm going to put a 6th engine in there, but I just couldn't afford it. But that's because I spent all of my money on a drone satellite. Oh, the enemy's over that way. Hello. Die now. Nope, come back. There we got him. And my turrets are not tracking, that means there's no more enemies. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as I said, it wasn't even before. So, because I just had both of the fighter modules just tacked onto the side of it. But now, I am going to install an extra fusion drive there, because we've got... That gave us, like, almost 2,000 resources. Sensor module? No, there's no sensor module that would have helped there, Lord, because that was actually a low visibility environment. I was in the middle of a dust nebula, so I couldn't have seen anyway. Yeah, there we go. 6 engines. No extra armor plating, but we've not needed it as of yet. The threat ratings seem to be the same, but I still think they've got more technology than they did before. 2,000. I could afford something else, but I think I'm going to save it and see if the stations have refreshed as well. That's an asteroid cluster, harvests, and again, no ambush. 760 resources. No defensive guns? No. Do you mean... Wait, do you mean defensive against... Defense against... Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It's a sign I've been streaming too long. I'm going nuts again. I mean, this is why... This is why I've not been doing videos and content reliably for quite a while, because I know my mind... I'm just a bit too scatterbrained for a lot of it to make sense and go burble burble. Right. Anyway, another dust nebula. Which means we're going to be fighting in low visibility again. Oh, yeah, I thought you meant those. Hey, this place gave us 1,000 resources. Haha. Right, and anyway, Lord, it's only in these dust nebulas that we have this limited visibility. I think you went away before you saw what an ion nebula is like, because those are fun. But Dust Nebula, the whole point of this mission is we go and kill the enemy sensor satellite, and then we can say it's a win, and finish fighting. So, yeah. So if I kill the target marked, then we can win, but the thing is there's enemies around here, and I don't know where they are. Speaking of, there are the enemies. Well, the thing is that I wanted to stream something just because of how unreliable I have been in streaming. So, you know, it's about time I was getting some content out. Okay, let's pause and see. We've actually got a lot of enemies nearby. We've got 7 enemy ships nearby. So I'm actually going to throw some stuff out. Let's throw a bomb at these guys. Let's throw an ion bomb at these guys. I'm going to throw out a drone sat as well. There. My chain gun's getting a bit damaged. I'm going to throw down a repair on that to make sure it doesn't get too badly damaged. And I'm going to hang on to the sabotage because I don't think there's anything I want to shoot at with it. There we go. That's thinned them out quite a lot. And they're attacking the drone sat, which is not taking too kindly to it. There's a lot of small enemies around here. Jeez. Ooh, I see a blue flashing square. That means we've just had a technology drop. New tech. Excellent. There comes another fight. One of the enemy ships again. This is actually, yeah. Anyway, defensive guns. I don't actually think I have a reason to build one. To be quite honest, I've got enough active defense as it is. I've got my fighter bays. I'm actually pretty quick, so I can. Oh, hello, enemy. How are you? About to be ion bombed, so you can't shoot at me. Yes, I thought so. There we go. Head on. And I'm also going to sabotage that central module as well. So this is why I held on to the sabotage in case there was something bigger. didn't really stand a chance against that. Wait, was there 2 of them? I think the wreckage has doubled up. I think that was actually 2 ships there, not 1. Oh well. Anyway, let's actually kill the objective though, which is this thing. There we go. Sensors raised down, we can harvest the place and move out. The guns are not turning around, that means I have murdered everything. We're fine. And new tech, heavy laser cannon. Excellent. We've been needing a laser, I think. Anyway, back into the ship design. We are, by the way, Dreadnought class, apparently. And a fast Dreadnought as well. Right, systems. Defense guns, you mean these? A small turret which automatically shoots down enemy fighters, missiles, and mines. It's actually a treble turret. It fires 3 streams of small rapid-fire projectiles out in front of it. So it basically saturates an area with lots of flying ordnance to try and shoot down stuff that's trying to come at me. Namely missiles, mines, and fighters. Its main drawback is, that I've noticed, is fighting. Sorry, is fighters. When fighters are attacking you and they get close, they just start circling around you, and then these defensive guns don't actually turn fast enough to fend them off. So they basically just become useless and they're just spinning around, spraying bullets everywhere and not doing much else usually. So they have some definite drawbacks to them as well. And they're also slightly weak as well, 650 hit points. Relatively cheap though for 500. You mean like we could play Rift without recording because mining for 2 to 4 hours is not cool for streaming stuff? Yeah, that's true. But as I said, I'm just streaming this because I'm trying to get a bit of content out there as well. So yeah, defensive guns. I think I'm not going to build them, I don't really need them. What I want though is the turret we just unlocked. The heavy laser turret. So something like that. I mean, 675 firepower, it's not that great. It's got a lot of hit points though. 1,175. But basically this is a mid-range, high accuracy, high energy laser. It's not the most damaging laser in the game, but it tagged things with a beam that is hard to ignore. Which is like that, so... Let's see, heavy laser... If I do that, it's changed the fighter bay graphics, so then they now launch sideways, as you can see. I'm just thinking where I want to put this. Like, do I want the fighter bay to still be on the front? Actually, that looks okay. Let's move the ion beam out a little bit. So the ion beam is on the side of the ship. Let's put that in the middle. So ion beam's there, laser comes from here. Engines are scattered out. Lollard, what Clint is saying is adding a silent player to Avoyant would be very fun. What they mean is, like, if they were in, say, an Avoyant stream or something like that, and they weren't in the chat, they were just flying around doing stuff. And what are you talking about? Playing plenty of silent ones? Sometimes we do, Lollard. Sometimes we do have some silent ones around, sometimes not. It would depend on who was around when we were doing the stream. That's looking alright. We've still got 3,200 resources, though, to spend on more stuff. We could always get a plasma shotgun, I suppose. But, again, I want to hang on to this stuff, though, because we are about to hit a station. So, yeah, let's hold off on upgrading further. But our ship is getting bigger and bigger. Actually, that's a thought. What's our resource efficiency at? 97. Okay, adding those 2 modules has not reduced resource intake. Feel free to land. We pay well for resources. Okay. So we've spent 100 because of that local delicacy addiction addiction we've got. But we've got plenty of money. I could hire a Sid Dodge, an instructor, 5%. Or I can get local patrol routes, which I don't care about because I'm murdering everything. So, yeah. Your job is 2 AM job, but it is good. Yeah, nighttime jobs tend to be a bit more, but it's as you said, if you're having fun with it, then it's definitely not a bad job at all. I'm tempted to pay 1,000 and get Sid, actually. Because 5% in structure, that's 5% chance to get a new guy for every decade I fly around. So it's potentially it's extra crew. So let's hire that actually. Let's get Sid Dodge involved. Hiring him. So we've got an extra instructor. Instructor is now at 11% total. Yeah, it's a passive, but now we have a 21% chance of every decade flying around to spawn a new officer for free. So that's potentially going to help us get more people. And yeah, I did that before chat updated. The chat has got like a 17-second lag usually when it's working properly. So yeah, I decided before really waiting, to be honest. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's move on. Sector 8. Cult of Adam Fleet inbound. Prepare for battle. Let's let you guys see what heavy lasers look like in action. Because they are not bad at all. What have we got? We've got small ships and we've got a capital ship over there, which is very far away. I don't think that's going to be a threat for a while. Oh wait, nope. There's another capital ship over here. Same typo. Anyway, now they're going to get close. And those red beams were the heavy lasers. Let's get some stats out, but see how quickly the small ships are getting blown up. There we go. The only drawback is I put heavy lasers in, and by default the heavy turrets turn more slowly. But look how many fighters are flying around the place. They didn't stand any kind of chance there. Well, we are a dreadnought, so, you know, I guess that's why. Ah, there's the last enemy. I will throw out an ion bomb at them. Because why the hell not, basically. Didn't hit too well, but I will target that central bit and sabotage. So, and I think chat's crashed again. Hang on. Yeah, YouTube live chat is disabled. Turn it back on, thank you. There we go. Yep, torn apart. You good? You're always a chill streamer. I try to see what you post if I'm not on when you are. Well, thank you very much, Clint. That is actually very nice to hear. Though, again, I must apologise for the lack of content in general of late. It's just, you know, life sucks. I think it's probably the best way to describe it. And so that's really got in the way of the channel in general. Jeez. Anyway, that was lasers added, and small ships basically go bye-bye whenever they get too close to me now. Lasers are a good combination, I find, with ion beams in this. The ion beams disable the ship, so it can't fly around or defend itself, and then the laser, it doesn't care if the enemy's flying around, it just shoots it. Okay, approaching the scan. No energy signature, comm chat from the... Oh yeah, wasn't this a destitute one? Yeah, here we go, destitute. Please, barely getting by. They don't recognise me, but it has been like 30 years since I visited this place, so... I'm going to say no harm, no need to offer, because that'll give me extra crew. And we got a guy called Aura Omar. Okay, crew. That gave me some new crew families and civilians on board my ship. And Aura Omar is... we got someone new with merchants, which reduces the cost of buying stuff at stations by 22% if I keep him in the officer pool. If I was to put him into a weapon officer slot though, or the captain slot, he's got 12% extra beam damage, but kinetic damage would drop by 15%. So basically the opposite of what my ship is currently fitted with. Since my ship's main weaponry is kinetic, and the beam weaponry, before I added the lasers in, it was just the ion cannons. So, yeah. Life is long, take it slow. All good in the long run. I really hope so. I really hope so, because I've been dealing with my foot injuries for the best part of 5 years at this point, and it just keeps on going. It's very annoying. Sensor and asteroid cluster, go deep. 500 more resource, thank you. Iron, you're asking, do I have the Technic launcher for Minecraft? I do, actually. If Pixelmon is part of the Technic launcher, then yeah, I would have access to that. Honestly though, I've not touched Minecraft in years, must admit. Anyway, we're back in the Ion Storm up here, so you guys are about to see what an Ion Storm is like. It's basically just bright blue, it glows, and there's a very high chance that our ship will get disabled, because there's ion explosions all over the place. Also, there's a lot of enemies around already, as you can see, but yeah. Lots and lots of ion bombs. I do worry about the volume of the guns. Oh, that one caught me. Okay, that shorted out a bunch of my weapon systems. They're all blue because they've all been disabled on the sides of my ship. Hiya, Sidonian Games. Welcome to the stream. And I hope you enjoyed dropping... Right, oh, darn it, I forgot. The ion burst actually disabled my my heavy ordnance as well. So that I was about to try and throw an ion bomb at them, but I can't. It's been shorted out. It needs a moment to rebuild charge. There it goes. Ion bomb. Drone sat, because why not? Explosive bomb. Throw it there. Sabotage. Right in the middle. I'm not damaged, so I'm not going to bother fixing myself. There it all goes. Yep, that did the trick. No, wait. Oh, Sidonian. Hello, developer person. I do apologise. It took me a moment to realise because my brain is going derp at the moment. Ooh. But yeah, you guys have made a nice game here. You're welcome. Welcome to stay or go as you please, honestly. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be streaming, to be quite honest. I've been going for 3 hours. I think I might have maybe like another 15 or 20 minutes left in me before I have to stop. But yeah, if you have to stop and rest, I understand completely. I know exactly where you're coming from with that. I wasn't. Yeah, it just happened upon this. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm already over 3 hours, this is actually a very long stream for me. But yeah, it's, I mean, I saw Nukurum did a stream on it. I mean, I saw the notice about that. But it's actually through him that I even found this game in the first place. Also, all enemies are dead. And yeah, as Clint said, this is actually a really nice game. I should probably run away from the Void Storm, honestly. Ugh. And I think I'm done here with Nick, so let's get going. Anyway, yeah. Clint, I was hit by... You were hit by 2 cars? Your left arm didn't work for some time? And your mum just had part of her ankle removed because of an infection. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. But yeah, you're right. Time can help to heal a lot of things. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to Valhalla. Valhalla. You're a solo dev, actually. Team only has a marketeer besides you? I honestly didn't realize that you were a solo dev. Well, congrats, and you are, well, I keep meaning to try and start developing games, but I just have ideas and I don't get around to doing it. So, kudos to you for that. I'm glad it's working out for you. Anyway, let's go to Valhalla and see who will go to Valhalla. As in the spiritual sense. Oh dear. You are woken at night by a security report. Commotion in the aft mess hall. You arrive on the scene. A quarter of the ship is here. 2 clear factions debating loudly close to violence. A deckhand has climbed on top of the bar and is proclaiming a need to be heard by the captain. You know, my initial response to that was break out the sniper rifle. I'm sorry, I have a very sarcastic sense of humour. Sometimes it's like, someone's antagonising the mob. Break out the sniper rifle. No. Say your piece and done with it, deckhand. Let's see. I think I know where this is going. Captain, the Terran Empire has been dead for decades. Central Fleet Command is long gone. These things won't ever return. The Terran Empire died of their own hubris. Not exactly. Yeah, snipe, zap, zap. No, we need a sniper rifle taser. That would be nice. We do not need to follow them. I can understand where he's coming from, actually. That's the thing. The Terran Empire died ages ago. We are technically a revenant. 9.27 euros, something like 11-12 USD. Yeah, that actually sounds about right. I think that's what it is. I do streams and videos. Yeah, it's a different approach, isn't it? No, they both have the same social stigma of someone looking in and going, "Hey, that's something you generated on a computer. All you had to do was like click a button and then it's done." if only if it was that easy. But yeah, okay. Terran Empire died of their own hubris. We do not need to follow them. Continue. Warrant Officer Teresa Popov. Don't listen to him, Captain. This mutinous rabble just wants to end Terran law and order. Couldn't take the discipline. Is that so? And the mission? And the other surviving Terran loyalists? Larka says, the mission does not make us Terran, only human. Valid. The mission will always come first. Terran loyalists will always be our allies. That's stretching now. But we need not cling to a dead empire's identity. Let's move ahead and forge our own. We know this is not a democracy, but I urge you to think about what we are saying here. I hear you, now stand down. We'll deal with this in the morning. With a sniper rifle. And a lot of alcohol. Sorry. When I get on a bent like that, it's just like, The ship security detail makes sure the mess hall is cleared. There's no resistance. The crew feels like they have been hurt. You go to bed with a tough decision to make in the morning. Okay. Wake in the morning, assemble your officers and prepare to send a message to every crew member and civilian on board. The message reads, as long as we live, so will the Terran Empire. The Terran Empire is gone. We are the first Voidfarers. Our destiny is our own. Actually, that is... I mean, I know where... this is the problem I've been seeing with all of these. Yeah, I'm thinking the problem is it's absolute. Yeah, I'm leaning towards 2 as well. We are Voidfarers. Our destiny is our own. But the Terran Empire is gone. That's relegating what's gone before to the dustbin of history. And essentially, what I think is we're an evolution of the Terran Empire. We are the first Voidfarers, but we came from the bosom of the Terran Empire, the birth and death of Adam, and all that jazz. We are not the Voidfarers, we are the Adamists, or the Adamites. I question the need to end up having more options. As long as you give the need for violence, I'm sure someone will be happy. But yeah, I think the Voidfarers, our destiny is our own. Let's see what we do. Oh, actually, that's something I was wondering about earlier. It's like, one thing I'm not quite sure about is when it gives us these things, it gives us no hint, really, about what might become of it. So it's like, I've got the first Voidfarers, but I have no idea what that was while I was picking it. I only know now, after the fact. So, Noah Marek has leveled up. Teresa Popov has leveled up. A new officer, Lynette Dungan. Alright, Lord. Absolutely always have the option to kill them all or mind control them. So, I don't think that the Terran Empire had ready access to that kind of tech. I don't know, see. Yeah, yeah. What I'm getting at, Sidonian, is not. I'm not saying, like, hey, if I mouse over this option, I'm going to get a tooltip saying you are definitely going to get penalty of this or bonus of that, or like definitely, because that might be going too far in the opposite direction. It's like, say, if you choose this option, you might suffer a penalty to resources gathered. Or you might have your crew live longer, or something like that. It's like just like a generalized hint. It's called a waterboard. What? Oh, you mean for the mind control? Oh, okay. Oh, our newest crew member just died. Dan Quebec died of old age. I literally just hired him in the last system. Level up Roy Allen. Okay. Level up Lynette Dunk. We only just got her as well, and she's already leveled up. What has Voidfarers done to us? This is so many level ups. Nope, nope, nope. Oh dear. And Roy Alain. Crew members died of natural causes, death by old age. Oh dear. And sadly, that is the last member of our original officer corps. So, all of our original officers are now dead in the void. I wonder, do we get a social thing for that? Oh no, we've lost. We've lost. She just leveled up twice and then she's dropped dead. Okay. Yeah, that was our doctor as well. Oh dear. Core crew missing, movement disabled. Our crew has had some major shifts in that one. Oh dear. Right, let's see. The first... I wasn't expecting that at all. Okay. The first Voidfarers. Plus 4% to all turret damage. The Void is a harsh mistress. Yeah, but that is both the best and worst Void transit I have seen yet in this game. Most of our officers leveled up, several of them leveled up twice, and I think it was like, was it 3 or 4 of them that died as well? Though I think part of that is just the fact that we lost our doctor. At least I'm pretty sure we lost our doctor. But yeah, Voidfarers, all 4% all damage bonus. I would have expected like a crew spawn rate bonus, maybe to that. or maybe a bit of a lifespan. I'm honestly surprised we got turret damage out of it. Actually, is that random? Is there a chance to have a different bonus from the first Voidfarers, or is it always going to be turret damage? That's a good question, I think. Let's see, do we still have a doctor? Oh no, our doctor was Vinita Vande. She's still around. Our captain and weapon officer both died though. Oh dear. Energy regeneration 0%. It's always the same. Oh, okay. Actually, back to that hints thing we mentioned. He was also the doc. No, I think didn't we only have one doc? I think no wait, Sid Dodge was the new one, wasn't he? We've lost some instructors. That much I'm sure about. We've also lost our sabotage specialist too. So they're gone. Anyway, before I get distracted again, what I was saying about hints. No matter what, I think there are some people that are going to be upset if hints are added to it. So I think what might have been a good compromise, or what I would do, is have a toggle in the options list. So you can go into the options and click, I want to have hints on the things. So if I have this checked, show me a hint if I mouse over an option when I'm making a choice. Or if you want to, you can turn it off and then just play it blind. So that might be a good compromise to have. Just make it optional. But that was my thought on it anyway. Sorry, moving on. I think I've been thrown off by energy regeneration 0%. I don't know what that will do. Oh, energy regen, no effect. Okay. Fine. So she's got the bonus, but it's not doing anything. That means that if she levels up, there will be a bonus, but right. Add paint so we can turn the ship red. Oh yeah. Calling back to my remark that the only thing we can't do to make our ship faster is paint it red. Because we all know painting things red makes it go faster. Bloomin' orcs. Yeah. I think it's just the starting value started at 0% for that. Okay, I don't want to throw my doctor in, don't throw my instructor in. I'm going to have to throw Aura into weapon officer, though that means my kinetics are going to get worse. Add a big red button. We also need Orc-style smart missiles, I think. That would be a great addition if we're going to be going that way. For those that don't know or see the stream later, the 40k Orc version of a smart missile is they take a Gretchen and strap him to the side of a nuclear missile and give him a joystick. And then he flies said missile into the enemy. So basically they stick someone on the missile and then he tries to pilot it. I do love me some Orcsies. And I think Sid is my best choice for captain, even though I don't want to reduce his instructor bonus. There's just no one else really. Oh wait, no, I'm being stupid. Lynette, you're captain. You may be new, you may be young, but you're the captain. There we go. You can now tell how long I've been watching. Yeah, the stream is ticking on, but that's fine, as long as we're having fun. Repair, recharge, no sabotage, but that's removed my ability to instantly murder the enemy ships. What a shame. Do I want to add something else to this, though? You know what? I'm thinking maybe add a cannon. I don't use them much, really, but cannon would be good. Or more fighters. More fighters would be good, too. You know what? Let's have more fighters. More Dakar. Let's also put them sideways, so they're pointing out the sides. The engines are all at the back now. I'll move the lasers forward a bit. Actually, what happens if I put that there? No, not really. Okay. So the Titan, Ion's Folly, is decked out with side-mounted fighter hangars. It's looking a bit like a battle star now. Anyway, let's go. Anzoid Nebula. Captain, we've entered an active Ironstorm Nebula. Cult of Adam fleets. Yep, let's go murder them. This entire stream I've not had reason to be cautious at all. Because I'm just like blowing up everything. Let's see. Ion bomb there. Let's throw a satellite out. I'm going to be engaging around here, so let's have one there. Let's hang on to the explosive, and I will move to here. Hello, missiles. Okay, let's target the joints. Okay, good. Right, they're all here. Let's drop a ball on them. And again, target that. Just get rid of the stuff. Actually, I was wondering about this earlier, but if you go back to a system, does the tech evolve over time? Because I actually just came from my starting system, and I noticed that the enemy had weapons that they didn't have before. Ooh, new crew. Good. So, I'm wondering if the enemy ships just advance over time, the longer you've been playing. And dead. Got it. Now let's get out of this horrible place. New crew name, Mason Shippy. Module hit points 4%. Okay, that's not too bad. And I was just wondering if chat's crashed again because it went silent, but I don't think it has. I'll just reconnect it again just to be sure I'm not missing anything. There we go. Yep, enemies level up everywhere constantly. They're bouncing back from the destruction. I wonder if that was going on, especially since you've made time such an integral mechanic to the game. So I figured there had to be something going on there. And it's good to know that if I take too long, I'm basically just going to get murdered. Which is quite reasonable, actually. So, yeah. Very nicely done there, I'd say. Minor roster clusters. Of course I'm going to go deeper. And again, nothing. 624. I don't know if this might count as a bug, honestly. But I will mention it. Also, 4 stations. I've just noticed. And that's the fact that in like 3.5 hours play, every time I've gone to an asteroid field and I've done deep mining every single time, not once have I actually been ambushed, I don't think, in 3.5 hours. And I know it does ambush because I've played a few runs before and got killed. And I've been ambushed a bunch of times, but in this one I've not been ambushed once. So it just strikes me as a bit odd, that. Oh, I've not seen that type before. Enemy... Yeah, that is very weird. Yeah. Enemy carrier. No, actually, enemy... I'd say that's a patrol cruiser. Oh, advanced engine. Oh, dear. I think that's like a patrol cruiser or something. It's fast, it's got fighter support, but it is primarily... It's got twin heavy lasers. So it's definitely a fast one. But it's meant to, like, chase people. Unfortunately, I'm too heavily armed for it, I think. Nope, come back here. Yep. Okay, if you're going to be like that, I'm going to be like this. And just do nasty things to you. There we go. Salvage. Okay, let's see. I'm kind of nervous about this because 4 stations means that's a lot of stuff. But I don't know what they're going to find there. Com chat on the planet below. Is this going to be another destitute? Oh, yep, it's a destitute. Okay. And since my crew number continuously drops, I'm going to say, since I'm a happy, friendly, peaceful, voidborn person, once again, we mean you no harm. Give me people. Thank you. Irene Wills. What are you good at? Ooh, extra hit points, again. But minus speed. No, I don't want to use you. Alright. Town friends, rarely do we meet outsiders so far away. Feel free to land. We pay well. Okay. Oh, Doctor and Inventor. Those are both good ones. I think I want her just for those two traits, actually. So, yeah. Tonya Silver. I'm not even going to wait for the chat here. I'm just going to hire her straight out. Okay. Dino Guide. Actually, here's another criticism. The fact I can't actually move this around or have a look behind it when deciding if I want to buy a Xeno Guide. So if I wasn't keeping a track of how many planets and things there might be left, then I can't judge if I want to buy the ancient site reveal on planets, because I'm not sure if there's planets left to buy them for, if that makes sense. But I think there's a couple of planets, but they've got stations on them. So I'm going to say no to that one, and local intel I honestly don't care, because I'm a dreadnought. So yeah, the ability to check some stats and things of your ship without cancelling out of the choices, I think would be a very good usability feature. Just pop forward. Captain, and another ion storm. Let's get in there. I like the ion storms, honestly. Even though they have actually ended... Ooh! Oh dear. Well, that's helpful. Great. Immediately deploy everything, because my engines are about to get crippled. Right. You've emptied your bays. I'm going to throw the bomb there, then. You are light plasma, an ion beam frigate. I'm going to shoot you straight away. And I'm going to throw a bomb at you because you're nearby. Okay. Okay, that's kept the bombers off me, at least at the moment. Oh, jeez. Ah, ion discharge coming in. I think it's going to hit me. Oh, no. No. No, it's chased. Yep, it hit me. It knocked out half my engines. Oh, hello. I'm going to murder you if you don't mind. Oh, no. My ship's disabled again. Oh. Nope. You know, that's the second module I've lost this entire stream. Both times it's been fusion drives that got blown up. Oh, jeez. Let's see. So I don't even say I think I'm redoing the local intel Xeno Guide stuff soon-ish. When I have all the bugs done and can work on extra content. That is... I think you have the right priorities there, honestly. Also, I'm going to fix my engine there so it doesn't get blown up as well. That would be quite nice. And I'm going to target the... actually, I'm going to leave it all on auto at the moment. Just shoot whatever's nearest. But yeah, getting bugs out of the way is... You're already a markup for many of the bigger companies at this point, if you're focusing on getting the bugs squashed. Honestly, that's something I hate about the game industry at the moment. It's just like they don't really seem to care about the bugs that often. I find. Anyway, moving on to. Oh, jeez, so many beeps. I have no power. I have no power left. Oh. Flipping ion storm. Stop chasing me with your ion effects. I don't want you to blow up in my face. Luckily, even without the engine, I'm still fast enough to try and stay... Oh! The moment I try to say I'm fast enough to stay away from them, one hits me. Ugh. Oh, hello. There we go. Well, I guess that's what you get for hubris. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, wow. The Ion Storm has done so much damage to my ship. This is the worst it's been the entire time. Well, okay. Thank you for dropping in, Sidonian. It has been a real pleasure to see you. I hope you enjoy your walk and then you go get some sleep. And Lollard, there are actually ways to deal with the ion effect. It's just that I haven't unlocked it. It's only the one. And your suggestion of a sensor module of some kind for cloud effects, I don't actually agree with that one. I don't think that's really needed. Maybe some kind of better target prediction module or some kind of gunnery support module, but that would be extra content though. We're okay without it. But yeah, you have a good night, Sidonian. While I chase down this random headquarters. There it is. Got it. Salvage what we can and move out. Anyway, Lollard, the anti-EMP you're talking about, I don't think there's a module for that. But there is a power reactor module, which can actually act like it fires a beam of power at nearby modules one at a time, and it helps them recharge. It's just that I haven't unlocked it. I've not been able to find it, but it can help to it can give power to other systems nearby, and I've also got this recharge ability as well, which can help. It's just that since its ability, it's slow to recover. But look at the state of my ship, jeez. And you have to go now as well. Yep, okay, it's about that time. So you have a good night as well, Lollard. And me. Oh wait, you're telling me to go and get some sleep? I'm gonna get out of here before I get ion bombed and blow up. Honestly, there we go. But yeah, there are things we can do about EMP, it's just I've not managed to find them yet. There's a lot of RNG involved sometimes in this. Go now. So good night, get sleep. Oh yeah, that's not it. I could use some sleep, but if I sleep now I'm going to wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. Which is not good. Honestly though, I stayed a bit longer than I said I would. Let's check my ship. Quickly patch up that engine. Like so. And I think let's hit Sector 7. And then we'll call it a stream. Since we've already passed the 3.5 hour mark now. It's 3:30 PM for you, Clint. That means you're in America, doesn't it? If I recall. Battle stations, we're going to blow stuff up. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like you're somewhere in America, or, oh, and incoming. EMP, drones, go there, bomb. Yeah, oh, no, it's flying again. I wish I'd mentioned that while Sardonian was here. There's actually a bit of a bug, I think, with the big ships, which is sometimes when you super damage them and modules are exploding and stuff, they get catapulted and they start flying around really quickly. Far faster than they could normally go. And then you have to try and chase them down. It's it can be a pain when it happens. Ooh, mass driver frigates. Okay. But yeah, if you see that, what's left of that ship is flying around like it just doesn't care right now. There we go. But yeah, we can't win the fights until we actually hunt down that loose wreckage of ship that's just flying around all over the place. And I think because the AI is confused as well, or rather I think Actually, I think what's going on is, since the enemy capital ships, when you blow out their engines, they stop moving. The actual headquarters sections don't have engines. Yours does, theirs don't. So that means when it's flying around like this, it literally can't stop. I think that's probably what's going on here. And also sometimes like that, it just reverses direction at random, which is also good. Back off a little bit. Oop, there we go. Yep, it's got faster. Off it goes. Oh dear. I'm going to deploy a satellite here actually, because it's probably just going to bounce back. So it'll come back here, roughly, and yep, here it comes. Hello! Bounces off there like a pit. Oh! Right. Now we just have to wait for it to come back again. Yep, here it comes. Ooh. And got it. Right. I think that's definitely a bug. You know what? I think I'm actually going to make a post on that one in the discussion. Just mention that that's happening. But yeah, basically it was the enemy ship's headquarters module just going around playing Pong at such a rate that nothing I had could actually catch up with it. The only thing I could actually hit it with at all was actually beam weapons, or if I parked directly in its path. So it can be a bit of a pain to deal with. Especially if you're damaged and your ship is moving very slowly. But anyway, yeah, that's done. Aura Olma. Oh. We've got a clone. Has that happened before? Nope. We've got ourselves a clone. We have got 2 Aura Omars. Oh dear. Well, it seems like the name is tied to a portrait, so that makes me think it's like a backer or something. I know there's a Nukirum in here somewhere. I've seen him a few times, though not in this stream. But it seems like something else that might be a good addition is a check saying if you've already got an officer with X name, don't spawn them again until they're dead. That way you won't have 2 auras running around like I've now got. Oh dear. But hey, we know it's being actively worked on, so that's great. Is there anything I want to add? I've got like 1,000 resource. I could maybe add a little bit more to my ship, I think. Like, I could add 2 more engines actually, make it even faster. Or I could add some more weaponry to it or something. But I think it's better to save that though. So yeah. I'm going to call it there though. We are at 3 hours 40. This has been Iron Mark 3. The game has been Voidship: The Long Journey. As you just saw, it's like it's a mashup between roguelike. It's got some basic RTS/squadron combat kind of thing. It can be played like an action game. It's just that's not how I've been playing it at all. That's why I've not used any of the cannon weapons on it. But yeah, it's also relatively cheap. And as you saw when he dropped in, or she dropped in, we don't actually know either way. When they dropped in, the developer actually seems to be quite nice. And seems to like wandering around is friendly, so yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. And for whoever watches the VOD the whole way through. And see you all some other time. Some other place, some other video, stream, Discord channel, yada yada. Have a good night. And you as well, Clint. You enjoy going to your job, since I think that's what you're going to do now, isn't it? You're off to your job soon? Or something like that. But yeah, good night. You rock? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. But it's as you say, all we can do is try.